When's it come
will.
out?
It comes
Yeah.
out Thursday, right?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's when I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah, I'll probably go
I'll
see
probably
it.
wait maybe to the weekend or something, but I do want to support it. Just
Yeah.
it's Dev Patel's first movie as director. It's kind of exciting. Jordan Peele
Produced by Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to support it a little bit. It looks like quite a ripoff of John Wick, but
Absolutely. Absolutely.
there'll probably be some good sequences, right?
As long as it's like well crafted, I think it'll be worth, at least going and seeing, If it's well choreographed.
It looks visually pretty cool.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give her a go. Then Civil War the week after, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Tearing the country apart.
Topical. Yeah, I heard, I don't know, I heard from like a review that Civil War's just more based on the characters than like the overarching
politics,
like conflict, which
Yeah,
I kind of like. I don't know.
Same. Yeah.
But,
The guy I heard talk about it, Your Movie Sucks, his reviews, he was talking about how he wished it made more of like it didn't really make a political statement, and he felt like it wasn't. Like it was just trying to stay neutral, which I was hoping it would. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know, when you make a movie like that, you probably shouldn't, because I mean,
piss people off.
Yeah, either you're gonna piss people off or like give people ideas. Like, yeah. So like, I don't know. That was what I was afraid of with just the movie in general. So like, I'm kind of glad that it's neutral and it's kind of about the characters and not.
Yeah.
I did see that Alex Garland is done directing. He said he's out of love with filmmaking.
He will be writing, hopefully, right?
That's what
he's not directing.
I can get that. Probably a lot more work on your, like, for the next years when you're directing rather than just writing. So
yeah,
I get it, but it's kind of a bummer. I just went and saw Ex Machina in IMAX, and that dude's got some skills, man. I don't want to see him go
with a Z.
Skills that kills, bro. Double Z.
Damn. You know what show I think I gave up on? That Resident Alien I was talking about a while back.
What? That was like 2 weeks ago, right?
I know. Well, the first season was good, but you can tell. At least this is how I felt. So the last episode
it got canceled eventually, right?
No, it's still going.
Oh, it's still going. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I thought it got canceled.
It felt at the end of season 1, like after they ran through testing and all this stuff and saw that they're like the show was doing well, they just kind of added the last scene, the last episode. That way they can have a reason for it, because it could have ended clean and it would have been like, this is a solid show. But then they added like one little scene where it's like,
yeah, alien showed up.
Yeah, no, not even that. It just brought him like, I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it. He left, but then it gave him a reason to come back, and it just didn't need to happen. Like, I don't know. It was resolved, and now it's for some reason not, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
What is the plot? Is he like stuck there? Like, is he stuck on Earth?
Well, he came to Earth to destroy the humans, and then when he crashed and lost the device that's supposed to destroy humans, but he had to blend in, so like he had to kill a guy and take over his body. But then that guy was the town doctor, so he has to like learn to. It's really like it's super smart in the first season. It's just the second season. I'm 4 episodes in, and it's just like they just are. The writing is just so bad now. It just feels so schlocky, and I don't know. It's just a bummer because the first season was actually, for a sci-fi show, super smart and like actually funny. So
I think I added it to my list just because I was curious, but
you should check out the first season. I think the first season is worth watching, and just like stop it at the last minute.
5 minutes till.
Yeah, that way you don't see.
What did he forgot his cell phone or some shit? Like, I gotta go back.
I mean, do you want me to tell you? I'll tell you.
It's fine. I don't care.
Okay. Well, the boy was on the ship, and like, so there's one in like a billion can see through the alien's disguise, and it just so happened to be this little boy in the town. So of course the doctor, since he's the town doctor, he just diagnoses the little boy as like crazy. And the parents are like, yeah, you're right. So, but anyway, the little boy gets
They
on his
live,
ship,
kinda.
and he has to come back to return the boy in the second season. So,
I see.
yeah, it's tough.
Just some bullshit.
Yeah, fun show
Bring
though.
it back for
The first
season
season.
2. You guys watching
Yeah.
Shogun?
I need
I
to.
still haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm caught up.
I have not caught up, but what's the last thing that happened? The big like earthquake, and they all like, took a tumble, and then
Honestly, the only thing
Shut
I
them
can
out.
like recall from that show is them just sitting in the pagodas and talking. Like, I don't even like really know what has happened. Maybe I'm just not paying that great
Yeah.
attention, but
Well, it's not. I mean, from where I was, and I think we talked about it last time. It was just like the pace isn't quite there.
moving
Pretty
anywhere.
slow. Yeah. I mean, that one dude got boiled alive pretty early on. That was
fucking
that was
sick.
neat. Yeah.
Some more boiling, some more of that shit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I like the
I'm
idea
expecting
of
more.
like the geopolitics
Really?
thing, but yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, I like the
I like that there's,
situation,
like-
but the
yeah, it's
situation's
like,
not
oh.
like moving. It's just like
Mhm.
sitting and
Doesn't feel like the stakes are actually there. Really.
yeah.
Interesting.
It's cool. I mean, I wanted maybe just a more streamlined plot, I think, but I don't even know how many seasons they're going for. If like there's more to tell later or something.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it's based on a book.
yeah,
Yeah, based on a book, based on a show.
right. Just
Wait, it's
one
based on a
book, though?
book that's based on a show.
No, sorry. There's
Based
an
on
old
Japan's
show.
history.
Yeah, there's an old show, Shogun, that
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was based on the book, but it's also based on history.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, how long did the Edo
I mean,
period last? Maybe.
Yeah, pretty much just the Edo period. I mean,
We're
I think
hitting
it's like
every-
200 years or so. Because I
Yeah,
think they
okay.
said at the beginning of the show, it says it's in 1600, and that's like the
So you're-
beginning of the Edo period.
You're
Gotcha.
telling me this could be a Walking Dead scenario where there could be 15 seasons, 25 episodes each?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
Woo. How many times can we just see a samurai?
Man,
See the silhouette of a samurai.
I saw a fucking article like a week or two ago of like a timeline of like George R.R. Martin's responses on when the Winds of Winter is gonna come out. It's been like fucking like 12, 14 years or something like that.
The
And
last
like,
book came out before the show started, or like the first season of the show.
yeah, like that's
it's-
fucking insane.
A long time ago.
There's another guy, I don't know, you guys know Patrick Rothfuss?
Mm-mm.
He wrote this book called Name of the Wind in the second book of Wise Man's Fear. And he said he was just going to make a trilogy. And I've been waiting. It's been, I think, almost as long, if not longer, than George R.R. Martin for this one book that he said he had like a rough cut.
Is it the third
And
one?
yeah, it's the third one. And the problem that I have with it is the second book is just like. So the first book happened, it was pretty good. It was fine. The characters were kind of unlikable. But the second book was like the first book rehashed for 500 pages, and then something new happened for the last 500 pages. It was like the first book was his proof of concept, and then so I think he's just treading water at this point.
Endings
So I
are
think
hard, man.
It's
I
like
get it.
George
I
R.
mean, he could
Martin's
just like rehash, the first half of the book can just be rehashing the first two books.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I wouldn't run it by him, and he's just so like pretentious in the second book. It just starts getting to where it's like, oh my god, we get it. You like to write good, long, creative sentences, buddy, but this isn't that entertaining anymore.
Does he like write other stuff, or like what's he got going on?
This is it. This is it. He's got a short story that's part of like this world, but other than that, yeah, no, he's got nothing.
When you make your money, man, and it's hard to feel motivated, I
Yeah,
assume,
right.
to like keep it.
I guess.
I mean, for George R. R. Martin, that dude's he's like retired, basically, it seems like. He's like,
All the royalties
goals.
he's getting, if I was him, I'd just die happy, you know?
Die without finishing the book.
Yeah.
leave it
Does he have
open
any
forever.
children? Children who can
don't
pick it up.
think
I saw a video of him talking to Stephen King.
Yeah, ask
He's
him
just
how he does it.
yeah, he's just getting heated because Stephen King pumps out like so many books in a
he writes,
year.
like every day.
Yeah.
That's
uh,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
that just made me laugh.
I think he writes like what did he say? Like was it
6
30 or
pages a
60
day?
pages? 6 pages.
I don't know.
Yeah.
6 pages
That
a
guy's
day,
got
I
to
think
put out
he
at
gets
least one
paid.
book a year, if not two, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that
He's
guy's
slowed down
constantly
that
putting out
machine,
books.
Yeah.
I remember
crazy.
he makes me feel bad about being a writer because I always go back to a quote that he said where it's like, if you're not writing every day, then are you really a writer? And I'm like,
You're like, shit, am
I
I?
think he's like a
Calling us
special
out.
case. I
Yeah,
don't think
I
that's
think so,
normal.
too.
I mean, like, I don't know.
No,
It was easy for him
I don't
back
know
in the
if I- yeah,
past
for a
because he
while.
was coked out of his mind for like the first part of his career. So
He
of
was
course
just
he was
putting
writing.
anything on the
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, once you go through like a decade of putting out a book every year and you have that like experience in your back pocket of just like writing that much, like
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just easy for him because he's done that for like fucking 30 years or 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably longer than that. I don't fucking know.
Second
I think he's
nature.
got
But,
his
like,
own universe and shit.
I don't know.
Right?
It's like at this point, like a certain degree of like anything that we do, like as far as writing goes, it's like a hobby, but it's also something we like to do. So it's not like you want to force yourself into doing something like that. Because I mean, like it's not like we're making money off of it. You know what I mean? Like Stephen King, like if he was fucking making money off his books, like at the first couple books, then like yeah, you have fucking pressure to put out new books. But like I don't know. I mean, for us, it's like our creative interest. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
it's
I
for
also
fun.
think like you shouldn't rush stories at a certain point too,
Yeah.
because then you're not sure if you're getting the best stuff.
Which
You think
is crazy
Steve rushes his
because
stories?
I think he
That's-
writes whatever he like. I remember like reading Mr. Mercedes.
I'm
and
sure
just
he would
thinking,
hate me
like,
if I called him Steve.
Stevie. It just, I mean, he writes to his own taste, but I wouldn't say like they're the best versions of what he could do. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
I need you
talking
to
shit.
read The Stand and like Salem's Lot. The Stand is like some of the best character like work.
Isn't it
And
like 1,000 pages or some shit?
it's so
think it's
fucking
more.
good though. Yeah, it is. I think it's like 1,600 pages.
Holy fuck!
That's
That's
the
crazy.
unabridged version. I could be wrong. I have it around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think my brother had that version too, and it was just like fucking insane.
Yeah.
It had like writer's notes in it and stuff too.
Yeah. Hang on, let me
Yeah,
read
cool.
you a quote before we get started.
Excerpt.
It's a pretty good quote from him. This is The Stand, by the way. Let me check the page count for you. First off. Yeah, we're sitting at a healthy at 1433. So,
Holy shit.
not bad, not bad. Might work.
Cool.
Let's see if I can find this before. If it takes too long, I just say fuck it.
So 6 pages a day, 1,400 by 6. Quick math. What, like 80 days
Got a novel.
for a novel? Yeah.
I wonder who his editor is and like how much input they have too.
So I wonder if they just are like, God damn it, he wrote another one.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take this one, boys?
I mean, in that interview with Martin, I think he mentioned basically mentioned that he tries to get 6. He put it like clean pages he won't have to go back
change.
and and change that much. So maybe it might like 10 pages and only 6 of
Right.
it or whatever.
That's true. Whenever I was listening to Script Notes, it wasn't Script Notes. It was a different writing podcast for like screenwriting. A lot of the screenwriters were going for like 3 to 5 pages a day, which to me that feels like not that much. But like a movie is only like 200 pages, like max usually. So it's like
I guess
ratioed, I guess.
right. First writing for the screen too, picturing, plotting stuff out. Blocking, think of all that.
Here's the thing that stuck with me from The Stand, the preface here. When asked how do you write, I invariably answer one word at a time, and the answer is invariably dismissed. But that is all it is. It sounds too simple to be true, but consider the Great Wall of China, if you will. One stone at a time, man. That's all. One stone at a time, but I've read you can see that motherfucker from space without a telescope. So, like, great quote by you, boy.
At least
So
he's
that's why you
humble
write.
about it.
Yeah. So everyone could see him from space without a telescope.
A wall of
His
Stephen King's books.
pile of books.
Yeah.
Shit.
You got your rankings, Noah? You ready or?
Yeah, good to go.
Ready? All right. Hey. Well, welcome back to the Stagel podcast, Stagel chats, whatever it is. But last chats on Coen Brothers today. Bittersweet.
Yeah, we put him to bed.
Bittersweet.
Just sweet for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think this is like the least sad I am to end a director's dive. It's like I'm like kind of ready to move on. But
yeah, I feel you.
A lot of movies.
Damn.
18 movies, right? So it's a lot.
Yeah.
They all definitely are in the vein of what they can do. So maybe I'm just looking for something else now, you know?
Yeah. A little variety. A little something.
Shake it up.
Yeah. Well, let's just jump right into the first movie before we do our rankings at the end. This one, 2016's Hail Caesar! Exclamation point. Blood Simple had a period. This one has an exclamation point. They've evolved.
Yes. See, they do change.
That's great.
Derivative.
Wow. Yeah, they're just repeating the same shit.
Yeah, join the haters in the
Blood
comments,
Simple.
Joe. You sick.
I'll just toss it out. What did you guys think of? Have we all seen this one before, or first times for anybody? Or?
Yeah,
Second watch for me.
I hadn't seen it.
Same.
First time.
Second, first. Okay.
Cool. What did you guys think this time watching Hail Caesar?
I enjoyed it more this time. I think it moved up. It's higher on my rankings.
I think I just enjoyed it because it like wasn't depressing.
Yeah.
So I just based on that, like relative to like other Coen Brothers movies, like, you know, this one wasn't about nihilism and infidelity, so like I thought that was pretty cool.
Sort of.
It's not really.
Yeah,
like
I guess
positive,
a little bit of nihilism, but not really infidelity,
negative.
so that's cool.
There's a
Yeah,
more positive spin on it, like when he's having a talk with
more
all
like
the
neutral.
different
He's just
like
putting out
priests
fires.
and shit, and they're like basically answering the way the Coens would answer, like, well, it's this way, no, it's this way. So it's just like no one gets a straight
The
answer.
priest, like you see him through the window, like at the end, and I thought it was one of the Coen brothers, like because it kind of looks like
too. It looks like Joel. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was
So
too.
like, yeah, I had to look it up. But I like Josh Brown's character, like Eddie Mannix. I looked it up. Apparently, that's a real person, but the events of this movie are not. Like all of this movie is fictional. But
I think they took like inspiration from a lot of old Hollywood stories and stuff like that, and kind of just like combined them all into whatever they liked.
Yeah.
Fun. I got like if this was like the Coen's version of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know, it's like their little like, I don't know, love letter to Hollywood.
I got that vibe when towards the end when George Clooney like messes up his line, his big like speech.
Yeah.
He's like, and then that kind of brought me to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Tarantino doing that.
Yeah.
And then it reminded me
actually,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna to answer your question earlier. I liked it a lot actually. The second watch through, I think. I mean, I liked it more this time. So yeah, I think this movie kind of rules. I kept getting like Babylon. It felt like the Coen's version. I guess Damien Chazelle would be his version of Hail Caesar, but it's like you watch Babylon where you have like Damien Chazelle basically saying how it's a shit crawl just to make it in the industry, and the Coen brothers are like, once you make it in the industry, it's still a shit crawl. So this is kind of like a good double feature with that. So.
I can see that. Yeah. Triple feature with Once Upon a Time. That'd be a fun day.
Yep, there you go. Yep. Long ass day, but fun.
My enjoyment of the movie, I think it kind of stayed at the same level. It's a pretty good movie. I like it more than most. More than like half of the other Coen Brothers movies. Solid, entertaining, definitely in the vein of what they do. Doesn't really go places.
I had to check my rankings.
Yeah, number
I'm
one,
like,
right?
Half? It is about half.
Right, kind of right there in the middle somewhere. Very entertaining. Not a lot to say, I'd say, in this movie. Like the movie is not really telling you much, or you have to like really parse what the message is, kind of at the end of it.
It was. I mean, I wrote down a direct quote at the end where he's like, "If you serve the picture, you have worth," which is like literally a metaphor for capitalism. And I mean,
Right.
like the communists are trying to take over. So I mean, like, I don't know. From the Hudsucker Proxy, like, you know that the Coen brothers are like kind of anti-capitalist, I feel like. So like, I don't know, in the writers, so like I feel like that was kind of an interesting take. But I don't know. I feel like there's like, or like, I don't, you could also take that as like a religious standpoint too. Like,
I mean, that's probably, to me, I got faith in capitalism. Like, those are the 2 points that
that's
are
pretty
constantly
much
intersecting here a little bit. They don't really give you like a definitive like statement or juicy like scene that's like thematically. I guess the end scene's pretty close, but with him like talking about it all. But yeah, no, I mean, that's for sure. It's all there. I think you just have to kind of pull it yourself rather than other movies where it's like fed to you, you know?
Yeah. I think it was interesting too, like what he does now in the film industry. I mean, like he said, is it bad for him to want to have this easy job, which is the job offered him to Lockheed Martin, because the nuclear war, that's, I don't know, did it happen already, or they were just doing some tests?
I think it was just tests, because I think it's only like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
Right.
So
like
basically,
40s or 50s. Well,
it would have to be after the 40s.
Yeah.
Or late 40s at least.
Yeah, I would guess 60s.
But I mean, even this easy job that he's doing is like working for the military industrial complex. So is it like a good choice for him? Like, so it's like, it's the easier job, but is it the better choice of the two? And then you have the movie industry where it's underlying, the writers are trying to get in their communist views in there. So it's just kind of like picking the better of the two evils.
Early 1950s. So
early.
Okay.
Yeah, that line.
So yeah, it was just interesting dynamics there.
It is. Yeah. The line of is something. If something is easy, is that wrong?
Yeah.
I kind of took that as like this movie might have been pretty easy for the Coens to write too, or I don't know. They definitely like are playing with like the movie industry, and like if it's this easy, is it wrong? But I felt like this movie specifically was like them kind of just like easily putting shit on the paper or on the page. I don't know.
It was definitely in their bag. It felt like, because it had like full on it was just comedy, but at the same time they could add their subtle, not as heavy in the nihilism. Obviously, it was just more comedic and lighthearted than most, but they still added their touch to it. So maybe that's them saying like this was like our rock star shit, so it's kind of easy, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. Did you? Because I kind of like got the sense that Ed Mannix was like, allegorically this Caesar, the Caesar of this film. He's
I kind of got that too.
You know what I mean? Because by the end, he's slapping George Clooney, and he's basically like the guy who's making moves, trying to keep shit together, keep the press at bay and stuff like that, and like, and then waffling with if it's worth it at all at the end, until he comes to that scene with George Clooney where he's like, it's fucking worth it, dude. Like,
I love that he just slaps the shit out of him.
I love how George Clooney comes back to him as if he's like figured everything out with one chat from some communists.
Yeah,
like,
right.
he like understands all of capitalism.
Got his feet up on the table, like,
so good.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I thought there was something really fun about how many different types of stories are being made in the movie, with like the Jesus story of like the cross, the Romans, the mermaids, the sailors, and it's like all the like the mixing of the meanings gets kind of lost when you're in Hollywood. It mostly just goes towards like marketability or money, and like the meanings, they're trying to like figure it out, but they don't really care,
End of the day, it's a project. It's a paycheck. It's
get the actors on the set so we can make this thing, and then fucking do it again the next day.
Turn it over.
But they just control the means of production, Matt.
Are we about to get into the communist chat?
Yeah.
I mean, I could if you want, but probably not.
I mean, George Clooney like getting kidnapped by the communists, I think, is maybe the biggest hook of the movie for me, or like the most fun parts of the movie, I guess. So just like that scenario. There's a lot of other stuff going on, but I think that's like kind of the meat.
Yeah, like I love the fucking. I'm just gonna call him Newman because I don't know his actual name. It's like when he pours the shit into the cup, and the other dude's just like staring at him, and like nobody else gives a shit. Like,
Yeah.
dude, and then I just love how George Clooney comes in and just smacks the shit out of him when he turns around, like with his sword. I don't
Yeah.
These
It was fun
extras.
seeing Wayne Knight in a role, Newman, and like he hasn't done much since like the late '90s, early 2000s. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
he's just like minor roles and stuff.
Mhm.
Some TV stuff.
I really enjoyed the experience of this movie, though. It's like obviously, I don't know, like compared to like other movies about making movies, which I tend to think aren't like as successful as just like a normal, straightforward movie. This is one of the best of a movie about making a movie. So
Definitely. That's how I felt. I think it was when the dance and the Channing Tatum scene came on. I was just like,
great.
this is just fucking fun. Like this is great. Like we're just hopping from studio to studio or whatever it is, soundstage to soundstage, and it's just like this is a blast to just
Dude,
do.
and like I love how he went from that, like the sailor song scene, basically, and then got on a sub and basically was a
Yeah,
sailor later in
that's
the
true.
movie.
Another briefcase lost into the wind,
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
ether for the
The
Coens.
money meant nothing.
Always.
I love how he's like kind of talking shit to his dog, but still like lovingly. He's like,
What the fuck could you do that?
He just like leaves, and then the fucking people in the boat can't like row away now that they don't have like a captain or something. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of like really fun script moments in this, or kind of smart hidden like layered moments for sure.
I really liked the scene where with well, I can't think of her name, and she's the wife of when she's splicing the film together and her scarf gets caught in it.
Frances
she-
McDormand.
Yeah, she pulls it out and she just takes a huge drag of the
The
cigarette.
first breath is a cigarette. Fucking smoke. Yeah. So
I gotta
good.
stop wearing scarves. That's so fucking good.
I wrote down the line. It's just, I don't know. It's just so fun. He's like, I like passion. It's strong. It's passion. You know, when they're like changing the line on him.
That's good. That's good. A lot of funny moments. A lot of funny. Scarlett Johansson with Jonah Hill. That whole scene where they're talking about how he did like 6 months for this thing, but he just like basically like as part of the job.
Businessman or whatever.
Yeah.
And the strong forearms comment, and you could just see, oh yeah, it's gonna happen now. So it's a good scene.
Really smart like bookends too with the priest and like the confessional stuff. Like you start the movie and it's like it's been more than 4 hours since my last confession. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this dude's just like in the fucking shit. He's just like constantly answering to something, even though the things he does aren't even that bad. You know, it's just like
Right. Like
so,
the priest
like, conscious
says,
of them.
you're not that bad.
Yeah.
He's like, I love
Yeah,
the
only
second
5
time
Hail
where he,
Marys. That's not bad.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like I just love
The
the priest's
sigh.
attitude. Yeah, he's like, like this dude again.
Yeah, right.
goes
Or
to
like when
close
he's
it and
closing the
Brolin's
thing.
like, yeah.
He's dying. Yeah.
So good.
Wait, Father. He's like, ah, and slides it back open.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Michael Gambon as the narrator, fucking Dumbledore, randomly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Good narrator voice.
It was a good voice. I don't know if I needed a narrator, honestly, but
Yeah.
I question narrators all the time if we need them or
Take
not.
it or
So.
leave it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good pun.
I
don't know.
think my favorite scene, George Clooney stuff, I think is like the hook of the movie or whatever. But I think my favorite scene is one you brought up, Alex, which is Josh Brolin debating Jesus with like 4 different religious heads.
Yeah.
And like
guess.
none of them agree on anything.
Yeah,
He's
that
like,
was pretty good.
God is split, Jesus is split. Like he's like, no, and then the dude, one of the religious guys is like, I couldn't really believe that he would jump from 2 moving carriages.
Yeah.
And then Josh Brolin's just like, uh-huh. It's like it's got the movie shit where people are like talking shit about like realism in movies, but then it gets to religion and how nobody like agrees on anything in that vein. And
yeah.
so good.
God hates everyone? No, not the Jews. So yeah. That was a good scene.
I think I'm gonna
Little
note
touch
too
of
that
Cohen's there.
yeah, it's very fun. They're just like enjoying the writing. You can tell.
Yeah.
Made a note too that George Clooney is in his prime, or his best roles are when the character has like deficiencies, or like he's not just playing it super straight, but he's got this weird ass like side personality that he can always kind of like bring out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Kinda
when they're
quirky.
just dumber characters, maybe too. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
really, I think, where he shines as an actor. But
You don't like Ocean's 11? You don't like
I love
Danny
it. I
Ocean?
mean, I fucking love Ocean's 11. It's true. That's definitely one of his best ones.
He's smooth as fucking that.
Him and
Smooth,
Brad
smart.
Pitt, like dynamic is.
I mean, I guess they kind of all are. Well, not all of them.
Livingston has some nerves.
The two fucking brothers, right? They're probably the
Oh,
dumbest of
God.
them.
Yeah,
of the
that's
group.
exactly who I thought of.
Casey
Drive a
Affleck
fucking
is
car.
that them?
Who you
Yeah,
call him,
yeah,
pal,
Casey
friend?
Affleck
Who you
and
call him, friend,
the other
jackass?
dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, yeah. Also, was it Michael Cera on the cross? I felt like I could hear that when the dude's like talking to Jesus.
Let me
and you
look
only
it
see
up.
his feet.
Yeah.
I couldn't find if it was him or
A
not.
hot lunch or a box lunch?
Yeah. Oh, I think a hot lunch. That was fun, but it sounded like him. Just funny that like Jonah Hill and him have like another movie together, if it is him.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's well, I don't.
didn't
It was
see
the
him
AI part of
build.
Google. It says Todd Hochschiser plays. this.
Interesting. Okay, sounded like him. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say. It's like vintage Coen shit. I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think still. It's good.
Yeah, let's watch
very good.
through it. It really like I don't know. It's getting tough now because like my ratings obviously is like rewatchability is part of it and just like pure enjoyment. And I don't know. I really liked it. 4.5 for me and this watch through. It's just
Nice.
fun. I mean, there was really no complaints for me. It was quick pace. It's great. I mean, it had a dancing scene that was like wonderful to watch. And Channing Tatum, man, that dude's good when he wants to be, you know.
He is.
Favorite role is This Is the End for him.
As the gift.
No, this watch through bumped it up for me too. I gave it 4. But I could like, just pure enjoyment too. I could see it being higher. It's higher on my rankings.
I gave it a 4. But yeah, I could probably go higher too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
The
solid.
Coens are coming around on you.
When it's
Mainly-
not nihilistic.
mainly when they're just
They're
not
getting out of their
negative.
dark phase.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess I will retract that because moving into the Ballad of Buster
Yeah, I was gonna
Scruggs,
say,
I rated
is it
that
Buster
higher than this.
Scruggs?
So like,
Yeah.
because I liked,
Mm.
but that movie is super fucking depressing. I mean,
It
all
is.
the stories are fucking bad.
They're about
Not bad.
death in some
All the stories are
fashion.
depressing. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Well, let's
Big
just
fan.
get into it then, right? Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I fucking
Well, I
love
guess-
this movie.
I guess
Me
the
too.
first
Me too.
story, the actual story with Buster Scruggs, is like just funny. It's not really
Yeah.
depressing. I mean, I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of depressing because
I
he dies at
remember-
the end.
Dies,
But like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
goofy as fuck.
It's
I
like
think-
Looney Tune esque.
Yes,
at
so
the
much.
beginning, like,
When the
it's
ghost comes out, it just feels like Bugs Bunny. You know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so good.
When he like
I-
dusts the and it's just
Yeah.
like the dust silhouette of him. Yeah.
I think that's my favorite of the short stories. Honestly, you guys want to just
pretty
like
good.
go through each story for
Yeah.
this one, or
Yeah, yeah.
Kinda-
That's what I
yeah.
was thinking too.
cool? Before that, I just want to say the storybook opening and then the storybook interludes. I fucking love that about this movie.
I do like
just-
those.
Just
I
brings
kind
it
of
home.
paused on each one to read some of it too.
Me
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
that's cool.
I was curious if they actually wrote the short stories, like if they have like the actual book
Mm.
of each one, because at the end it doesn't end how like the narrators say or what is happening on screen. Like there's something a little different about it. So I'm just curious if they actually
It
have
usually
like
goes past what you watch to be like
Right.
what they did after that or where it went
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah,
It seems
yeah.
like
that's why I'm curious if there's like a full version of these stories that could be
that'd be
I'm-
sick.
Sweet.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
like,
sure
make a
there is
fucking-
a book.
coffee table.
I mean, at least I'm
Yeah,
looking at it right now.
totally.
I think it's like written. Oh wait, I don't know. This says the screenplay, but I mean, it says it's a paperback book. I don't know.
I might look into that honestly because that'd be cool.
I can't imagine it'd be too long of a read.
Yeah, I think some of the short stories are kind of like based on other stories somewhat, but some of them
Yeah.
are originals too. So I'm sure they like
Yeah.
rewrote them in their own wording.
I mean, I
or
get
language.
like mad like underworld vibes from that last one, like Charon's fairy type stuff happening.
That one is very metaphorical, but we'll get there, I guess,
Yeah,
at the end. But
yeah.
Also, just before we get into the Buster Scruggs first one, as a general note of the movie, I think this might be the most visually stunning of all the Coen movies. Like, as far as cinematography goes, I think it might be their best movie.
Buster Scruggs, the first one alone, is just like those opening shots were just very good.
Yeah.
And when he's
I love the
flying
guitar.
away and you're following the ghost up, and you just have the god shot of the town,
you see
that's great.
Man in Black like leaving town.
Yeah, that's great.
No, or I mean, like,
were you talking
I guess like in any of,
yeah, I love that shot.
Or like any of the other stories, like I kind of like how they deviated from it just feeling like it's Western to more just American frontier. Because like a lot of like the scenery and like some of the shots is like really cool.
Yeah, I mean that gold prospector one for sure.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Just like amazing.
But yeah, Buster Scruggs. It's kind of funny that it's the whole title of the movie and it's only like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's like the shortest one. Yeah, I got like halfway through the movie and there are like 4 stories already told. So there's only 2 stories left at the last half of the movie, and I'm just like, they really didn't like weigh these out. Like these all were kind of like so
a little bit. I feel the whiplash mostly in the Oregon Trail storyline, because that's the longest one and you're kind of ready for the pacing that they've already set a little bit, and it keeps going past that. But
to be honest, I kind of liked that one more than the last one. The last one kind of just dragged for me, but well, we can get there. I guess
you should rank them, like what your favorites are. So once we get done with all of these, just see which stories were your favorites here. But
like that. But Buster Scruggs, the tone immediately makes this movie just so endearing to me. Like the silliness, the zaniness of like the situation. I think the first time I watched it, when he hits the table and the dude starts like shooting, I was just like on board for the whole movie after that.
Dude, and then his face after like the dead body, I don't know, that bug eye is like, he's just like singing in the background. Yeah.
I like when he shoots the guy's fingers off and he still reaches for his gun, and Buster's like, "Oh, when they made this guy, they forgot to put in the quit."
The pulling out of the mirror, I think, is also one of my favorite Coen moments in any movie. Like, I just fucking
I better not play it too fancy.
That's right. It's on the left, but I'm in the mirror. It's on the right. Of course, we're both around looking the same way, and the gun's upside down. That's not to play it too safe. Or best play it safe, but it's just, I don't know, man. Tim Blake Nelson obviously fucking nails it, but I just love that fucking sequence.
I love his like that first 2 when he comes into that first like canteen or whatever, and he's like, "Don't let my white does my cheery disposition like throw you off."
Yeah, like at first, like the song he's singing, I thought he was supposed to be like fucking death or like a demon or some shit, but it turns out he's just a regular guy.
So
he's riding a pale white horse. I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's the white.
And he just burned the fuck out of an entire everybody in the bar, like including the bartender. Like, and I mean, like when he walks into the very first like bar or cantina place, when he like taps himself and like there's just a smoke cloud of him in the background, I'm just like, this guy's magical. Like,
that's true. I think it actually bookends better than I thought then with the last story, where it's like a little bit more metaphorical, or like if death is really supposed to be like a little bit personified there, makes sense with the last one.
I didn't think about it like that.
Also just really love the song at the end. I mean, most of those songs are pretty good in that first one, but when a cowboy trades his spurs for wings, it's just like a really good Western song. I like it.
Yeah.
I too have been known to violate the statutes of man, and not a few of the laws of the Almighty.
And the spirit ghost stuff, definitely Looney Tunes, but I also got, since we watched all the movies in a row now, I got a little bit of homage to Hudsucker Proxy with that one.
Yeah.
Just like kind of, seems like they're kind of just like playing some of their greatest hits in this movie too, a little bit, where they like kind of go back to some of the shit that they're really good at and give you those little homages, little touches there.
That's one. Great opener. I mean, it's the titular one, but
yeah,
really like fires it off. It's good.
I wondered if they were trying to title this "The Ballad of Buster Scruggs" because when he opens the book, it's "The Ballad of Buster Scruggs and Other Tales of the American Frontier" or something like that in the colon or whatever. I wonder if that was like what they wanted this movie to be titled, and then they just simplified it, But
long ass title.
It's a long title, but it would make more sense if it was that. But
yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. But the one after this was Near Algodones, the James Frankie. Jamie Franks. Yeah.
I really
this
love
one. The opening shot of this one is also just
it's great.
stunning.
Yeah.
When he's tied to the tree, alone. Yeah.
You see the horse.
This makes James Franco look fucking great. Like
it does.
The best James Franco's ever looked with a man of that facial hair. I mean, he's clean shaven, but you just know
he's rough.
Yeah.
What I really love about this one is like the cosmicness of this story, like the uncaring like nature of the universe and like the West or the American frontier too. It kind of like ties into it a little bit. Like to me, there's like this weird cosmic justice of like him like being hung, able to escape. He found this opportunity and then like he ends up being hung again just because like of the situations that added up in the same way of like it's just
like what
up,
even
but it's like real.
Like, did they get him on the same crime? Like, was that why he was hung in town, or like what
was like
happened?
Apparently,
for stealing the cattle or whatever.
Yeah, the cattle was like stolen.
Okay, because the dude just bailed,
just left.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was. I'm glad you brought that up. The best thing I've seen someone write about this one was the Ballad of Buster Scruggs is death comes unexpectedly. Near Algodones, death is inevitable, so it's just like its own sort of justice. And then the next one is death is inevitable, but there's no grace. And then for the gold, sometimes you can escape death. The gal who got rattled, sometimes you can't. And the more remains, sometimes you're already dead. So just super like
sometimes cool you're already dead.
Yeah. You don't even know it. Yeah. It was like
that's cool.
The universe will like give you some rope. And then you'll get the rope from the universe, I just kind of like that little, it's really like solid short little film, even if there's not like much happening or being said, but
I think that's why, I don't know, this one's very high on my rankings, but I think that's kind of why I like it is like, it feels like every story is sort of unique and follows like similar themes, but as a package too, it's just like, it's amazing.
I love the ending too, where like this man's exploits and his attitudes are reflected in the smile of like a woman in the crowd. Like he's like, I mean, obviously the line of first time, it's just fucking great. Yeah. But just to see like that moment of like his life mattered in a certain way, or his like perspective was like true in a certain way, and it like to see that beautiful woman like kind of like what he's about. That's just a great ending to it too.
That's his last image too. It's like before he goes. Yeah. Cool.
I will say Netflix. Now I could have read it wrong, but they need to. I'm just gonna say it now. They need to get their shit together. So the story says
Netflix. They need to get their shit together. Dude,
yes.
What?
Pan shot yelled the old man is clearly written in the book, and the first time he yells out, the subtitles say bad shot instead of pan shot.
Wow.
What?
I'm like, what? Every other time after that, it's pan shot. I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't back it up to see, but I'm like, did I just read bad shot instead of pan shot? Screamed the old man. I mean, did you not read the fucking page?
Right.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's some AI shit, man. Didn't fucking catch it that one.
I might have to go back and double check. And
this has probably been dubbed since 2018, so I don't think it's AI. I mean, it's possible.
The AI was even worse back then, dude.
Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, what a great character for Stephen Root too. Just fucking wild, running out there,
crazy man.
He's got the 3 guns position.
Seemed like he liked the action, like
right. He welcomes it.
Yeah, like when he based on his conversation with James Franco about how they had he had been held up 2 other times unsuccessfully.
I gotta get
James Franco
the large bills down. Here.
Yeah, right.
I like how James Franco says to somebody too. He's like, "Yeah, I don't think that bank guy really fought fair or something like that."
Yeah.
It's just like
it's his last words, right? While he's getting hung. It's like, Yeah.
Hold still.
Yeah,
Oh,
short,
shit.
sweet. Really like that one.
Yeah.
Kind of like
This is good.
projects the movie, you know, with that second short film of like what they can say and what they can do here. So
Yeah.
I think it was really well placed too.
Yeah, solidifies it. What was
Then
the
you
one
move
after
on
this
to
one?
Meal
Was it-
Ticket.
Oh
my
god,
The
yeah.
Liam Neeson one and the other guy.
I think this
Yeah.
is the most fucked up of
Yeah.
the short stories for me. Like this one is the one that when I watched it the first time, it like stuck with me.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. This one's
This
so
is-
dark.
Talking
like-
nihilism and yeah.
Do you think that like they actually had like a relationship, or do you think Liam Neeson was just like basically the guy couldn't leave, and do you think
Yeah.
Liam Neeson was just like using him
Well, yeah,
as
that
the
was his
show?
meal
Yeah.
ticket, but it's cheaper to
Right.
feed a chicken than it is to feed a
Exactly,
person.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
and
And the
that's
chicken
why
doesn't
he
look at
ultimately
you with,
got
like,
rid of
guilt.
him. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, there is like
And he can
no
fuck
understanding
bitches
of a
without
prior
bringing 'em
relationship
along.
before that.
No.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, but I guess like it's just like I'm just curious.
You
like,
don't know the
what-
history there.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I wonder
Yeah.
too.
I was
How he
I
How
was
found
many
watching
people has he
through-
tossed off that bridge? You know,
right. He knows that.
Yeah.
did he cut off that guy's legs and arms?
Oh, God.
Right. How did this guy come to be? A lot of questions.
like I don't know, because it's just like in any situation where like it's only them two, the guy, like the stumpy guy, which is maybe I should call him something else. I don't know his actual name.
Stumpy.
I think
Let's
he
call him
only is called like
Stumpy.
the orator or the.
So,
You can call
like-
him Russell if you want.
But he just like never talked
Dudley.
in the entire short, like in the
Mm.
this entire short, except for when
the
he's doing a
speeches.
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's barely any dialogue in this whole thing other than just like well-known phrases or like like the chicken dude presenting the chicken stuff and
Man, I bet
Yeah.
the chicken can do calculus.
that's one smart chicken.
He doesn't have any prior schooling. That's-
Yeah, no formal education. What a fucking like twisting the knife for the for the orator.
To sit next to a chicken and realize he's about to
Yeah.
be like replaced.
Yeah.
And he
'Cause
watches him throw the rock off the bridge too. And he's just like,
He's like
you just know he knows.
moseying on up to him.
Dude, the
all-
way that Liam Neeson walks up, I think, is like the biggest thing that stuck with me. Where he's like got his hands behind his back and he's kind of like smiling at him a little bit, like,
Yeah.
oh, so fucked up.
No, because I was
That's rough.
was watching through this time. I was considering that, like Joe, what you were saying, how they don't really like talk to each other that much, and I'm like, that's for me. That was on this watch. I was like, wow, this is defining the relationship more so as like this is the meal ticket, because you have this guy who probably has a formal education and has the skill of like telling all these stories, and this guy spends every night with him and doesn't like
Care.
they don't even converse, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like
The other guy,
yeah, so that just
I
drove
mean,
it home for
Liam
me.
Neeson just basically just got drunk as fuck. At least the
Yeah.
one night, but
Yeah.
I don't think that was like a recurring thing as far as I could tell. But like,
Mhm. It
yeah,
seemed like when he went to the whole house, it was like a new thing or something, or like
Yeah.
he had to like turn him around because he didn't really think about him coming with, you know, like
yeah. And then there was like the line where like the prostitute said like, "Is your friend getting some too or something?" And he's like, or she asked like, "Has he ever?" And
yeah,
he said
one other
like
time.
one other time. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. So maybe they did have a relationship before of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, he
Well, he
literally
said
has
one
to-
other time, but he like didn't he say he like freaked out or something? I feel like there was more to
did he?
that. I could be wrong, but
All he said was one other time.
was just one other
But the way
time?
it was the way he said it that you can be like, oh, what happened to this guy freaking the sheets, or is it
Didn't work
just
out.
Yeah.
gotcha.
I think what's really great about that is like there is such little dialogue in this one, but you can just easily track the evolution of the relationship that's happening and where it's going the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I clocked that a little bit more on this one because the first time I would think I was just in shock after I was like, holy fuck, like this guy just dropped him off the edge for
Just casual.
yeah.
Yeah. And what I really love about like the message of this one more so is it's like displaying like the shifting like views of like quality and entertainment a little bit, where it's like you have this guy who's giving you like history and speeches and performance, and then like over time people just kind of stop caring about that shit and they just like look at the chicken that's like dinging a bell and it's more cool, and like that just to me they're saying something about like entertainment in the industry in that way,
commerce. Kind of. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, dark, but this one has a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
A whole man's worth to unpack. Well, not a whole.
That's the one I think about the
probably
most.
Like 3/4.
Ballad of
Maybe
Buster
2/3.
Yeah, 2/3. What were you saying about it?
No, I mean this is the one where when I think about Buster Scruggs, I obviously think of Buster Scruggs, but I think about this short story because it's just like this is one that lingers.
This is the one I always think. I'm like, it's coming, and I'm just gonna be depressed for like the next 15 to 20 minutes, and then there'll be a little bit uplifting, but then it's just gonna be depressing for the end, of course. But
hey, at least you're only depressed for like 15 or 20 minutes instead of the whole fucking movie, like any other Coen Brothers movie.
Well, I mean, the last one's pretty
last
dull.
two.
That's Hail Caesar was fine, but like.
No,
you mean of the shorts?
Stories? Yeah,
that's Chariot.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the one that's a little more uplifting with All Gold Canyon. This is
I loved this one on this walkthrough, man.
I did like
this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the simplest of the short films, I'd say, but not to any detriment because it just like is a very compelling little journey that you're on with him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's beautiful.
It's a little too uplifting for me, you know. I need to be a little bit more depressed if I'm watching a Coen's brother movie here.
I like the turn it takes with like the Man in Black, obviously like showing up and like taking a turn for what like where we've been for the last 10-15 minutes. Yeah. But I just love the overcoming of that by Tom Waits or whatever that guy's name is. Like that he's victorious to me is like that's what I like about it. So.
Yeah, I mean this one has good themes too. It's like hard work, man, and nature. The nature of man.
Because I thought it was gonna be like all the animals leave at the beginning, and I thought it was gonna be like
how does he fuck up this
like manufacture or like fucking up kind of nature. But
man
it
enters
turned out
nature
to not
retreats.
do that, which was nice. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that one, good theme, a lighter theme. So I was ready for it after meal ticket. It's like goddamn.
Yeah, you needed a little something there, I'd say.
Yeah. Plus, just like watching someone literally strike gold is like
it's like, oh hell
an exciting thing. Yeah.
You watch him work the whole time, digging, sifting, fucking.
You're counting the specks with him.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna get you, Pocket. I'm old. You're older.
Yeah, Tom Waits is fucking great in it too. I mean, great choice of casting.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen him in much else.
I think he's a musician more. Like he's a
yeah. I've seen like
he's
poetry randomly. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And when the Man in Black shows up, I just love how the sequence slows down in that time, and we just like are on a second by second basis, kind of through to Blood Simple a little bit with like the revolver and just like feeling every single moment with him like lighting up the cigarette, rolling it, you know. And he probably should have just shot him again, but he fucking gets cocky, you know. And
really enjoyed that when he came in there and like the long pause as he's like, should I shoot him? He's not moving. But then he looks back, so you don't know if he moved when he turned back. I don't know. It was that was a great suspenseful sequence. It's just like this, and honestly, the sequence in Hail Caesar when the sub emerges from the water. I'm just like, the Coen brothers could make a fucking horror movie. Like, and I think it would just be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. First off, the ocean just scares me, and the fact that there's things like that.
I was like, the sub scene didn't seem that scary.
It's terrifying. Darkness. Like the ocean is just
nowhere.
Oh my god! Yeah,
they're not even that far off the shore.
Oh, fuck that! Exactly.
I love how the sub like rocks the boat on them. Like,
fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. But yeah,
I agree, dude. See, it's scary.
Suspense. Yeah.
Yeah. You ask and you shall receive, Alex. It's on its way.
No, it's coming. It's coming. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The Mortal Remains at the end too kind of made me think about like them leading into horror a little bit too, because they definitely go towards like eerie in that one.
Oh yeah.
But before that one, the gal who got rattled.
Oh no.
I think this is like the second most fucked up of the short stories to me. The ending, at least, is just like a gut punch, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy
Like it's
ride.
and as soon as like
I love it though,
they
actually.
saw the like hoof prints, I'm like, okay, this fucking Indians, and somebody's gonna get fucked up. And then like like when he gave her the pistol, I'm just like, okay, she's gonna fucking die. Like I don't know.
He
And
kind of like scares her, but he also is like telling her exactly the truth in a way. But he
yeah,
has motivations outside of that to keep what's his nuts around too. So it's like
Yeah.
and it was interesting too because that character basically said like 2 fucking words the entire rest of the short. Like whenever he's like in there and she like comes up and asks him questions or whatever, or like even the fucking other
it's a high
guy
price.
who's in charge of the thing, he'll like talk to him, and that guy will just be like, whatever, or he'll like look in his fucking bags.
Found it. Yeah, and then he's just like going off in that last scene, basically just like spouting shit. He's like, I just want to tell the tale. They're coming back. Yeah, I mean this one's
I don't know. More I've never thought of like you know, we've all played Oregon Trail the game, but like an actual story revolving
You have
around the
died
Oregon
of dysentery.
Trail. Yeah.
you never care about the crew until you're actually seeing the brother, you know.
Yeah. And cold and I don't know. I was like this. It captured that so well for me. I was like, holy shit, this feels like we're there. This feels like how these people deal with it. Like,
and like I don't know, the 2 like main characters did have like a pretty decent relationship too. So I feel like by the end you're like kind of like on like for rooting for them to make it back or whatever, and then I don't know, and then just fucking shattered.
Dude, it really it drives home because like
that.
you're thinking like, oh, they'll make it to or like they'll make it to Fort Willamette or whatever. They'll live happily ever after, and then it's like, oh, is Billy Knapp just gonna be the next Mr. Arthur now? He's just gonna
keep coming
stuck
back
on
to the
these
trail.
Dragons. Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's what I got from it, just because it's like he'd been with Arthur for so long, and
it's like
an out for him
fucked
kind
up, bittersweet ending for Mr. Arthur, where it's like he got kind of what he wanted at the expense of our main character that we followed. You know, like
and he's got a dog.
What is it?
President
Pierce?
Yeah.
I like how in the beginning, or like in the first parts of it, they go to put the dog down, and you kind of think like he actually put the dog down, and he just was lying about missing the shots, you know. And then it turns out he was like, that was real. But
that's what I thought. I totally forgot that from my last watch through too. I was just like, oh, he's probably lying about this, right, to make her feel better.
Right.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I think this one feels like the feature story of the movie. In runtime, it has the most dialogue, the most characters. It feels like the most Coens in a way, you know? So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't think the overly long nature of it like detracted from the overall movie either. So,
this is probably my 3rd favorite of the ones, at least on this watch through. My first watch through was my favorite when I first watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really beat the first 2. They're just this one, like you said, since it was like the meatiest and it had the most characters and kind of more developed. I was really just more attached to them. So, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then you move into The Mortal Remains, the final of the stories. This watch through, I was like, I'm gonna track this whole thing, because honestly, like the first times I watched it, I just get lost in the dialogue because there's so much of it.
The trapper going on a fucking tangent.
Yeah, he's just spewing nonsense. I think I tracked it. Honestly, I think it's just like too wordy, and compared to like the visual nature of the movie before it, it feels out of place in my opinion. But I like the ending when we get there. It just took. I watched it with Emily. I
totally agree.
And like, I watched her lose interest in this story. Like, and she was interested in everything else, but it's like this one just like, since you're so on board for the first stories, this one just is so different and vaguely boring. You know, kind of like it's hard.
I think it's just like, you're just stuck in this carriage for the whole short, pretty much. And you have like these 5 characters that, like, in my opinion, are kind of uninteresting. So like, I don't know.
Trapper's
and they kind of
cool.
just have
He's
like,
wild, right?
okay, yeah, kind of. He's like kind of interesting for like
Yeah.
the first time he talks, and then after that, I'm like, I'm
Shut
good.
the
All right.
fuck up.
So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And
Interesting. I thought
I
the
mean,
Frenchman was
is there like
the most interesting.
was there actually like deeper meaning in a lot of their dialogue? Because like I didn't really catch too much. Like,
Not really in the
No, this was
dialogue, other
pretty
than like
meta. I feel like this is the most meta story. Like,
I
this
mean,
is
it's
like
just
they're
like
talking
they're
directly at you.
basically like it's like they're in a carriage, and the carriage driver's not going to stop until they get to,
Death.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's basically like fucking like the river Styx and
Yeah.
fucking Karen or Cher, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck
that's
say
what I
his
was
name.
saying earlier. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the ferryman.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that the bounty hunters are not dead, and
I
they
thought
can just
just,
go
like,
there
angels of
freely by
You know,
putting
and
somebody
thought-
there. Yeah.
At least the dude on the
Yeah.
left in the carriage was Death, 100%.
Mm,
Because he's like, I only knew him at the end. I only know them like towards the end or whatever. Which to me is like he meets them at their death or whatever, you know. But-
Gotcha. Okay.
So like these guys are, like Alex said, they're like already dead in my theory,
Yeah.
or in most people's theories. Like they're dead and they're being
Yeah.
transported to their next spot or
I
whatever.
mean, the
I can
conversation
imagine, yeah.
to me revolves around like, what is a good life lived? What is the
Yeah.
meaning of life? Why,
Mhm.
like, what do you hold? What values do you hold while you live?
The
you
different
know?
truths that people are so certain on, but then
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you can never really fully understand other people's perspectives because you're so like ingrained in your own truth of life, you know.
That's why I love the Frenchman so much, because for me, his like perspective rang the most true. Where it's
Mm.
like you play the hand you're given, you roll the dice, and like you can only know, like, you know yourself, and you can only know someone to a certain degree. Because at the end of the day, it's like you only have your perspective or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, like the way he enters at the end, you know, he just like pops his hat on and just like
A
welcomes.
little more
like,
accepting than the other people.
yeah. Yeah. I was like, all right, this is cool. Way better than the fucking widow who. It's like,
It's fucking-
yikes.
So like,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm just, if the guy with the mustache and the goatee is dead,
Mhm.
we'll just
He
say
was
that he's
in
dead.
Buster Scruggs.
He was in Buster Scruggs.
Was he?
He was in the first one. Yeah, he was at the table when they go sits down to play poker
Oh,
right
shit.
before he kicks the table.
Really?
He's the other guy sitting there. Yeah.
I
didn't
don't
realize.
think that that's the same guy.
I know there's a
I'll go back,
mustached-
but I don't think it's the same guy. I could be wrong. It
The
might be the same
bearded
guy.
dude that he like talks to first.
Isn't it David Krumholtz?
Yeah,
first
that's who I thought, because
Okay.
like,
I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
But who's the
Yeah,
other
he's
guy? Is
in-
that what you're trying to?
no.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
all I'm saying is like, if he's dead and he's transporting a dead body on top of the carriage, why is he transporting 3 other dead bodies that are like acting like they're alive inside the carriage?
Yeah. I kind of thought that the 3 people in the carriage lived decently good lives. And the person that they on the top of the carriage was probably somebody who was getting transferred to like hell, you know, or some shit like that, where
I
it's
can see
like
that.
he's a murderer, he did whatever he did, that they had to go bounty hunt him.
Yeah.
So that's what I took
Yeah,
into
I
my own
mean,
brain. But
the other 3 like climb the stairs up,
yeah,
I
they're
guess.
like
and,
Yeah. That's
You
a good
know?
point.
yeah.
lightly transported compared to that guy. But I mean, that's a good question. And what
Yeah.
is Brendan Gleeson's character? I'm not. Are they both just 2
He's just-
coins of death, or like
That's
Two
I
sides
was-
of the coin?
Because he
yeah.
calls the other guy boss.
right?
Does he? Okay.
Yeah.
See, because doesn't the guy, the mustachio guy, he's like, yeah, I distract him, and then this guy gives him the old thump. So it's like
Like he's just like the
he-
muscle of it all,
Yeah,
like the
like, he
physicalness
is
of it all.
the physical death, and this guy's like
Yeah.
the embodiment of it. I don't know.
Or,
the
I mean,
icon.
also he drops the body when they take it off, so that kind of makes more sense too about like the physical
Mm.
nature of it. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's just not,
Physically
Tag team
handling
of
death.
death.
yeah, he's the handler.
Yeah.
I liked how the lines, there were like 2 types of people lines, and it was like lucky and
Yeah.
unlucky, trapper and townsperson, and upright and sitting. It was like cool,
Yeah.
like different perspectives of all 3 of them for what they think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
I
No,
remember the first
well,
time watching this. It was a group of everybody in college. We all sat down to watch The Ballad. And by this one, after coming off of the Oregon Trail one, or the gal who got rattled, and I just felt the room's energy just die because of how it like comes to a screeching halt, and you could just feel people like that was one time I remember feeling everybody just checking out. You know how you're like you want to show a movie to people and you're like looking around excited to see if they're enjoying it as much as you are. It was at that point where I was just like I can't look around because I know everybody's thinking what this is yeah.
Mm.
So I just
It's
feel
just-
that the energy gets sucked out of everybody.
Yeah, I definitely remember. I mean, I definitely felt that way this time, but because I remember loving this one, my first watch through, I was like, oh damn, this got meta and philosophical, and like I'm down for it. But yeah, this time, I don't know, like when Brendan Gleeson starts singing and stuff, I'm just like all right, like let's move along here a little bit, but
yeah, let's get to the
no,
destination. I think it's just too
yeah,
much dialogue, and
it
it's like
is,
a
and
whiplash
it's long.
moment because
Yeah.
there's not much dialogue for the previous parts of the movie. And then
Yeah.
you're supposed to sit there and listen to 20 minutes of dialogue, and it's just like that's not the movie I was just watching, in my opinion. But I enjoy it for what it's trying to do and what it's saying at the end. Whether it brings the movie home is a different question, but
do you think if it was like reordered
sequence.
to be like third or fourth, do you think this would
That's
fit
what
better?
I think. Like maybe put this right after the gold digging one and then end on the Oregon Trail. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
But I guess if you want to look at it in terms of like how the stories were their messages, this being death all along, I feel like it's just a good bookend to the,
it feels
Yeah,
right in
like-
ways, but it just doesn't
Yeah.
like get you there in the right way, if that makes
right.
sense.
It's just the pacing is just not doesn't do it justice because I mean starting it off with this unexpected like this guy who's cocky and death comes just randomly
yeah.
and then all along at the end I don't know it feels right.
I was
It's
just
the
thinking,
pacing is just not there, I don't think.
yeah. I mean, I was just thinking like, what if they had thrown this one like right after Buster Scruggs? So it's like you have this like kookier look at life and death, and then you have like, okay, let's look at death here.
Yeah.
Or if that'd just be too much whiplash, and then what
I
do you
think
end
it would
on
have
after that?
it could have screeched the whole movie to a halt.
Yeah.
Maybe early on if it was that
That's
way.
true.
But,
That's true.
I mean, if you rework it a little bit, probably
Yeah,
could
I
have worked.
think ending on the prospector or the girl who got rattled would be better endings.
Prospector might have
way.
been a really good ender.
Yeah,
I would have liked
That
that.
because
would
that's really
would be
the
like
only one with
flipping
like
those
kind of
two.
a happy ending.
Right.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty dark.
Yeah.
Or even not even just flipping them like maybe just like taking the gold one, putting it at the bottom and just moving the girl who got rattled in this one and ending in that one. I think it would have been just as good as a bookend.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I agree.
I actually
Yeah.
think that'd be cool because then you'd have like all five where like I don't know, you have your different
Death.
the end deals
Death
with death
ones.
and then
Yeah.
you have the one where he like escapes.
Survives it.
That's a good point.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did really
But,
like the like subtle lighting changes that happen throughout. You really don't notice it unless you're looking for it, but it starts kind of like at dusk or like sunset, and then you slowly see the light start to like go down the people, and then it becomes like kind of eerie and dark, and like
Foggy.
they get there, and it's
Yeah.
you're like creeping to the end, creeping into the darkness.
Yeah. It was fun. I'm a sucker for good like lighting and tone in a scene. It really
And
gets
then
across.
at the end when they're like entering the house, I was like, well, this feels like a nice really like lead into their horror movie now. Like they're almost there already at the end of this, So
Yeah.
I kind of laughed when the gambler kind of like looks around at the end and you see like there's not even like an attempt to hide it, but it's the literal cutouts of buildings around it.
like
I was like,
artifice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is, I don't know. For me, that was like a nice touch.
Yeah, for sure.
But what would you guys say your top ones are then?
Yeah,
I would go
stories.
probably Ballad
Yeah.
for my first one.
I'd probably
then,
go 1 and 2 for the first two.
Yeah. And then the girl who got rattled.
I'd
And
agree with
probably
that.
Meal Ticket, and then Gold Canyon, and then Mortal Remains.
Okay.
I think I'd probably be down for that, except for swapping Meal Ticket and the gold one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that,
those are pretty equal.
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna go Ballad of Buster Scruggs first. The gold one second. I just think that's my favorite one
that's
after
what I was
that.
gonna say. Same.
And then the Near Algodones, Meal Ticket, The Gal Who Got Rattled, and then The Mortal Remains. I don't think I left any out.
So yeah, I'd probably just switch The Girl Got Rattled and Meal Ticket, and then mine would be pretty much the same as yours.
Nice. Ballad of Buster Scruggs, man. This comes out of the gate hot.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 5-star movie for me.
Hey, nice.
Damn.
Yeah,
I got it at 4.5, and it's an easy 4.5 for me, so I can understand a 5-star for sure.
Yeah, I give it 4.5, but yeah,
I'm at 4 for it.
I could go up maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. Solid.
Now, for what everybody's been waiting for, meaning us sitting here right now, except for Noah, he was not prepared until
I was not prepared.
more recently.
I was eating sushi. I was eating sushi. I had to fuel myself.
Nice. Well, this is gonna be a long ranker. Most movies so far that we've done. 18 films. Yeah.
God damn.
Wait, I only have 17. Did I miss one?
What?
I only have 17 on my list.
Oh my god.
I didn't watch Inside Llewyn Davis, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's just get into the rankings then. Who wants to kick it off with the lowest Coen?
I'll do it.
Movie?
I put The Lady Killers.
Wow.
Okay.
It's
kind of predictable.
Explain yourself, Joe. Explain yourself.
I fucking hated it.
It's trash.
I don't know. Okay. I mean, I think it was probably just a lull in the Coen brothers. You know, it was like a dip in the Coen brothers, films it was like the fucking early 2000s. They were trying out new shit. And if it gives you any indication on what the next movie is on my list, like another early 2000s movie, but like I think they were just like trying other shit. This was a heist movie that was based on a 1950s The Lady Killers, and like some of the characters were okay. Like J.K. Simmons was definitely refreshing. Yeah. The rest of them I kind of just didn't. I don't know. Some of the dialogue I thought was like kind of fucked. Yeah, that was kind of what ruined the movie for me. Was because like Tom Hanks did not fit this part at all in my mind. But
it was nice to see him outside of his normal Tom Hanks bullshit, but at the same time, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah,
him being in the movie.
Fair.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. I think you share the sentiment of a lot of people. A lot of people think Lady Killers.
But I will say, redeeming qualities that I didn't really pick up on the first watch. We talked about, we've been talking more about, I'll just call it the killer effect, where they're supposed to be bad at what they're doing, right. And I feel like that's kind of I like that idea. I think in practice, it's kind of harder to do because as the viewer, you're you have to decide that these people are not up to the task. Mm-hmm. And you're not an expert either. So it's I don't know, are these people up to the task? So I feel like you just it's like a fine line. And I think you just have to make it more obvious.
Right.
Fair.
I think that's fair.
What'd you guys have for 18?
My 18 was Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Straight up just did not like this one. And the more I think about it, I'm just I don't know. This one did not do it for me.
I figured you'd like that one before we started, It's kind of surprising, but...
It's a shame. I mean, when I was reading all this stuff about it, it seemed like the soundtrack is what really took off on this movie. And I could see that because that was probably the best part of the whole movie, which is sad. Because there's a whole bunch of different story characters that you should like, but I just didn't. I don't know.
Whatever, man. You're basically calling who wrote the Iliad? Homer? You're calling him an ass?
Allegedly.
He didn't
there are a bunch of theories about who actually wrote it or if Homer was a real person.
Supposedly the Coen brothers have never even read it, so fuck them.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. I mean, that's good. Didn't even do their homework. The fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my 18. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Boo.
I mean, mine's Inside Llewyn Davis because I have no other.
That makes sense.
No other place to put it.
I mean, I have that still pretty low, so.
Yeah, I figured it would be just based on your
coming.
guys' conversation too. That it'd be pretty low. It'd be pretty depressing. So
A lot of people like. I just picture a letterbox community watching this and being like, but like a lot of people just like think that might be their best movie. I don't know.
Inside Llewyn Davis? Are you serious?
It's such Oscar bait. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, great performance.
Dude, like
Oh,
nothing
there's music.
changes throughout the whole fucking movie. There's no character development. The guy doesn't even fucking like actually. Fuck that movie, dude. We'll get to it later.
Fair. My 18 was Miller's Crossing. Sorry.
Really?
Move on. Yeah. I mean, this one's just kind of boring, kind of toothless in my opinion. Like the forest scenes are great. That's really it all has going for it. Like it's kind of messy.
You mean at Miller's Crossing?
Yeah, exactly. Like the titular Miller's Crossing, that's good. But then everything else is just kind of mid. And it's like an attempt at Coen's Chinatown.
You're telling me you don't get hard when what's his nuts jumps out of the window and just Tommy guns the fuck out of his own house.
Okay, that was pretty badass. Like that kind of situation happens like twice, I think, right? But with two different characters. Yeah, that was actually pretty badass. I totally forgot about that.
the infinite fucking mag or whatever, right?
That was, I forgot about that too. Holy shit. It's been so long since we watched that movie.
I just feel like you can really feel them reaching for material after like their first out of the gate films with this one, and it's just like they haven't really found the juice for any substance yet. But that's just me.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's my 17, so it's down there.
It's my 16.
Oh my god.
Yeah. What'd you have for 17, Joe?
I have Intolerable Cruelty.
Okay.
It really wasn't that bad, but like I just didn't like it.
It's pretty forgettable, honestly, as far as like a lot of their other stuff goes.
Yeah. Again, I feel like it was early 2000s and they were just trying to branch out in other genres. This was, Coen Brothers rom-com instead of Coen Brothers.
Yeah, this is their attempt of like a studio movie, I would say, would be Intolerable Cruelty.
Yeah.
They're trying to like step out of their indie norms where they just write what they want to write. Maybe that's why they hate studios and why they have this commentary about how it's just shit.
Yeah.
But then Hail Caesar was so damn good, so maybe they came around. We can write something for the studio now and make it okay.
I don't think they came around. They still hate it.
My 17 was The Man Who Wasn't There.
Interesting.
I barely remember anything about this movie. I honestly don't. I don't even
so that's why you put it this low?
No, it just like wasn't that good.
Dude.
Like it's like a noir attempt that just is like boring, and like Billy Bob's character is supposed to be fucking boring and lame, and it's just mission accomplished, I guess. But like,
success.
Yeah, I like like we were saying, like when they go for genre or homaging, it tends to be like the least original and cohesive of their filmography, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't think it's that good. Hopefully, it's different with the horror movie that's upcoming, but I just don't like that movie that much.
With horror, I feel like they just have more like reach. It's more. I would say it's more in their bag, just because with horror you can do, campy shit. You can do serious shit. You can do gore. You can do. I don't know. There's just all kinds of
pretty.
There was like an intro scene or something of some movie that was like just fucking terrifying, but I can't remember like what it was. It was like a Coen Brothers movie.
Serious Man.
Serious Man.
Probably. Yeah.
That's a horror movie.
But that fucking that was fucking terrifying. Yeah. That intro scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it'll be better, and they've obviously got 20 years of experience under the belt now, or whatever. So it'll be better.
Sam Raimi's in their back pocket.
I don't think that fucking matters, Matt. 20 years experience.
I mean, I would hope they get a little better.
My 17 was the Lady Killers, by the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there it is.
We already discussed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. Thinking about it, I had this at my bottom, but then today, as I was putting the final notary on my list, I thought about
really fucking hated Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Yeah, and I was like, this isn't great. This is not great.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
I feel that, yeah.
And then following up on Intolerable Cruelty, that is my number 16.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, it's not bad by by any stretch. Like honestly, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna make a. Oh fuck! I didn't even realize I put Llewyn Davis above it. I think I want Llewyn Davis below it. I'm gonna make a quick adjustment here, and I'm gonna put Llewyn Davis at 16. Because that's just so close to Oh Brother.
I'm gonna
It
keep
just
mine
wouldn't
where
make
it's at.
sense for it to be this high, you know?
Nice.
I don't know. So I'm changing. 16 is Llewyn Davis. That one is just not.
And 15 is
15 will be Intolerable Cruelty. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my 16 was Miller's Crossing, so you know.
Damn.
What are you getting?
You got?
I got
16
Lady
for me.
Killers at my 16.
Man, I don't know. This watch through just kind of made that one was a lot more entertaining for me. I got it.
If that breaks your top 10, I swear.
No, it's not top. It didn't make top 10.
Jesus.
I could see a rewatch adding maybe a little bit more. Maybe.
Yeah, if it broke your top 10, I'd lose all respect for you.
All right, fair enough. It's number one, but
holy.
Oh shit.
no, my 16 is Barton Fink. This is the one that might age better than all the other lower ones on my list. With a rewatch, I think it might move up. I'll return to it and see in the future. Just kind of meandering, not extremely engaging like all their other movies. I really like the visuals. I really like the setting and the idea behind the movie, but it didn't all like coalesce my first time watching.
Yeah.
So
Just another like commentary on the industry and how, writing in general. So
yeah,
for sure. On to 15, right? Alex's Later Killers, right?
Intolerable Cruelty.
Intolerable Cruelty.
Yeah. Which honestly, I actually just recommended this to my mom just because so her and my dad got divorced like 5 years ago, and he's just now like he called her back into court because he wants her retirement because he's a piece of shit and he can't make his own money, so he's like, I'm gonna take her retirement because she's had the same job for like 40 years. Anyway, so I was like, you needed the Macy prenup when you guys got married. So
Ironclad.
I told her to check it out just because it's fitting for her situation.
Yeah, that'd be probably fun.
The impenetrable prenup.
My 15 is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Gotcha.
I was kind of surprised how low it ended up on my list before we started. The other ones are just more solid, more entertaining. It's wild, it's loose, but the structure is kind of ancient, and it doesn't really translate to like a modern narrative, in my opinion. But
for sure, I could see that one just not aging well, especially with modern audiences. Like when people go back and they watch the Coen brothers and they watch Oh Brother, they're like, this kind of is weird, you know?
The music really drags the movie, in my opinion. Even though it's the highlight, it just like doesn't project the movie. So
definitely.
Yeah, I got it inside Llewyn Davis. Fuck that movie.
Respect.
Wow. Yeah. You'd think it'd be your lowest one with that attitude.
Yes.
I really hated the Lady Killers. Yeah, really, I probably should have put it lower. Man,
hey, I just moved
I'm not changing right now.
Yeah. It's solid.
This is 15s, right? You guys,
those were 15, end of 15, yeah.
Okay, yeah, mine's The Man Who Wasn't There.
What's the matter with you guys? That was a good movie.
I liked it, but as I was going through it, I don't know.
There's better ones.
I mean, I understand the forgettable aspect of it, but just looking back on just quality, I don't know. It just hits higher than. Obviously, in my opinion.
That fucking James Gandolfini in it.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
You feel the Breaking Bad of it all, too. So it's got
have some respect for the dead.
So on to 14?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Okay, well, here's Intolerable Cruelty for me. I actually like this movie, honestly. So it's
not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a big swing, and to me, a lot of it lands. Some of it doesn't. It has like the distinct Coen comedy and sensibilities, which makes into a rom-com, which makes it a better rom-com than almost any other rom-com. So
definitely, it's smarter than most rom-coms.
Yeah, smarter and funnier, and like
I'll agree with
definitely rewatch this one. I'm not mad at it at all, so I liked it.
That's a fair assessment. Yeah. 14 for me was Miller's Crossing, the Coen's attempt at a mob movie. So,
you guys are gonna hate my 14. I put Burn After Reading.
What?
Damn. Okay.
That's low.
I really did not
Yeah.
like that movie. I didn't think
Yeah.
it was good. All the characters are so fucking unlikable that like it was just not enjoyable for me to watch.
Man,
But I don't know.
That's understandable. Yeah.
Jesus,
Just hurts my heart.
that's rough. Yeah, that's hard to hear. Let me swallow that pill real quick.
What do we got? Another 14? Anybody got?
I feel like it's a
14
pretty
left?
average take. I mean,
No, it's understandable. I get it, but I just
No,
Honestly,
I like him
I
more.
think
oh,
Hail
if you look
Caesar
at
is,
ratings
like,
of
one
that
of the
movie,
lowest.
like that's pretty standard. Like,
Is it? Are we on to 13? What are we at?
Yes, I believe we're at 13.
Okay.
Lucky number.
13
Hudsucker
was.
Proxy.
Oh shit, man!
interesting.
Nobody said that.
Yes.
Man, mine's getting
Yep.
close.
I mean, it was. I liked it more than I thought. It was fun. There was just some things that stuck out with it. Like, I don't know. It just felt like some of the directing choices didn't feel Coen-y. I mean, I get some of the like artistic, and it was just kind of like in your face more, but it felt like a little bit more unhinged than most of their movies. So
But you'd like that though. Wasn't this written by Sam Raimi?
Yeah, man.
yes,
It's
no,
boy.
Your
there was
boy?
I did like aspects of it. It just didn't feel like a Coen's brother movie when I
Yeah,
was
fair.
I
watching
agree
it.
with that.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel like their full like control of it. You know.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
pretty solid movie. Man,
My 13 was Inside Llewyn. Finally reached it. That's like just
13? What the
I
fuck,
mean,
dude?
it's like not a terrible movie. Like
That's
it might
that's
be
the funny
better
thing
than I
about it.
think, but like I don't ever want to revisit it to find out.
I would never want to
Exactly.
rewatch that movie. Like,
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm like, was it bad, or do I just feel like
well, like I don't know. It was
beat
so
up after
fucking
watching it?
depressing. It
Yeah.
didn't like tell you anything. Like, what was I supposed to get from that movie?
Life
And
sucks.
your
Besides the
main
world
character is
is
in like a
ass.
like he literally refuses to change and still doesn't change at the end of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not enjoyable to watch at all. Like, I'm
No,
sorry.
I
Like,
get you. No, I get you. It's just like pure depression with no comedy, and
Yeah.
it's like a different flavor of Coen's in that way for me. It just it sits in mid. It sits middle for me. Like it doesn't really. Maybe it'll go up and down, but I don't think I'm gonna rewatch it. So like, we'll see.
That's the problem with it. Is like, do I want to take the chance, and just rewatch this and like chance my well being? I don't think I want to.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Maybe if I want to listen to the song that they sing about like outer space and Kennedy or whatever, maybe that'll pull me back. I can just watch that scene if that's the case.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
What did you guys have for 13?
My 13 is Blood Simple. Actually.
Gasp.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
I honestly, it's been so long, I can't remember much from it. Other than
First
other
movie.
than
it has been a long time.
other than I'm the only pieces I can like really pull from my brain are like the most of like the ending is like in that apartment,
Yeah.
the like kind of cat and mouse that's going on there.
The pinnacle part of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. That's that and the
cat and mouse.
the bar opening. Yeah, that's all. I mean, that's all I got. It's a good, honestly, for their first film. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's mid, but it's like solid.
What about that scene in the cornfield?
That's the scene I always think of when I think of Blood Simple.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
That scene is just so engaging. But hey, fair enough. It's their first attempt, so.
At 13, I have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Pretty high up there. I guess not as high
Should
as
be
Noah's,
lower,
but-
man.
I mean, it probably should be lower, but like just for the fact that I fucking read the Odyssey for this, and then found out that they didn't even read the fucking book. Like,
Yeah,
what
man,
the
you did
fuck,
more than
dude?
them.
I'm doing more work than they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Joe went on an odyssey of his own. He was fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much to say about it, but like
Fair.
pretty much, yeah, it's all kind of already been
Other
said.
than Clooney and Blake Nelson and the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Sorry
else-
about
what else?
boys.
What else do you need?
Are we on to 12?
On to 12.
Yeah.
On to 12.
Dirty Dozen. I got Raising Arizona.
I do too.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wow.
I just don't really remember this movie, but like I don't really remember liking it like a lot, but I
Yeah.
didn't think it was like bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember the John Goodman scene, the prison escape. And,
Yeah.
he just fucking
Emerging
pulls
from
him
a
out.
fucking mud hole.
Yeah.
Or just like
And
Nick
the end.
Cage pampers
when they're
shit.
like driving in the car, it's John Goodman and the other dude from prison,
Screaming.
and they're just screaming for like
Yeah.
30 seconds straight. Like,
It's loud for sure. My
That and the
12 is
fight.
Hail Caesar. Kind of sits right in the mid spot for me, or like I think we've barely crested into like upper tier Coens for me now, where it's like
We're
Yeah,
getting there. We're getting there.
we're getting some
Yeah.
pretty good stuff here. It's not the best stuff, but it's good. A lot of actors in it, a lot of chewing the scenery, and it's classic Coen's feeling. Most of it adds up to being a good movie, but some of it doesn't. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
My 12 was Barton Fink. I mean, kind of, obviously it's relatable being. I write. I wouldn't say I'm a writer because I don't make money for it like this guy did, but it's still relatable. And
Yeah.
some of the imagery is just kind of resonant, like John Goodman running down the hall when it's on fire and shit. I'm just, I don't know, just good
striking.
shit there, here and there, you know.
Yeah. No, I
But
dig it.
going into number 11, mine was Raising Arizona, so right about there.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Barton Fink was my 11. So we just got those.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
have,
I love the imagery at the end of that movie. So that's my final note on that. I love the box.
Yeah.
I love like the question of like,
What's in the box?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I had Hudsucker Proxy at 11.
Nice.
Oh, crazy!
Okay.
That's pretty
Okay.
pretty high up. You haven't said Hudsucker, have you, Matt?
Not yet.
Holy shit!
Me
Yeah.
neither.
I'm surprised by it too, but my number 11, we're on 11, right? I'm not my
Yes.
number 11 is The Lady Killers. Didn't make top 10, but it is number 11. So
Get
yeah,
the
it's
fuck
close.
out of here, dude.
I
You're
mean-
off the pod.
Okay. No, I kind of
Put it
expected it
off
to be
the-
the lowest before we started. I'm surprised it moved us so high up, but it's way more entertaining than their other shit. I think J.K. Simmons, like you said, he kind of like elevated the movie in a way that I wasn't expecting, or I didn't happen the first time. It feels like classic Coen's in a great way, even if the plot and pacing get in the way of it at a lot of the movie, but it's still
Yeah.
it still feels like something that they wanted to do and say. So I liked it a lot more this time.
I mean, you're the only
You know
one
what I
who's seen it.
remember the most about the Lady Killers
So
is watching Interview with a Vampire right after and thinking, I did not expect to like this movie more than the Coen Brothers
I
movies
forgot
that I
about
watched
that.
today.
Yeah, because it was The Lady Killers and Intolerable Cruelty, right? And
Yep.
then
And then Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, that was exactly how I felt too. Like I hated both of those movies, and then I actually liked the fucking movie more than
Hell
those.
yeah.
okay. I'll sit on my own hill over here with Lady Killers. Not that bad, you know.
Sit on your
Uh-huh.
dumpster. That's not your dumpster.
Yeah.
Was it a dump
Yeah,
in
barge.
general? There you
Barge.
go.
Yeah, I'll sit on that
barge, the trash
Yeah.
barge.
Yeah, sail out of the ocean. Leave us.
My
Right.
10 is The
On
Man Who
top
Wasn't
10.
There.
Same here.
What the fuck is that doing so high? You can't be talking shit about the Lady Killers for me and then put Man Who Wasn't There top
Are you
10.
fucking serious?
Holy
I'm
shit.
with Joe on this one.
This
Mine is-
movie
my
was
10 is
like
Man Who
way
Wasn't There.
fucking okay. I'm not saying it's like super fucking awesome, but like I found this movie to be way better and more entertaining than The Lady Killers, at least.
I
Like
thought it was
I agree
better.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least like all the casting choices were fine.
I like Tom
Boom.
Hanks, honestly, so I'll say that too. I think the problem with the Lady Killers is that the sound recording is like pushing the audience away at almost every moment. It's not that Tom Hanks is doing a bad job. It's just like I'm not feeling it from something in the filming. But
I mean,
That's my
I wouldn't say he's doing a bad job. I think that he just can't play that part. Or I don't think he like.
He
I don't
doesn't
know.
fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Man Who
I
Wasn't
disagree.
There is actually just really, I don't know. It was super entertaining for a noir movie. Like not
It's
huge
very
into
depressing,
noir.
but I did think
but-
it was entertaining. Yeah,
how
Yeah,
did this
I
movie
mean,
end? Refresh
got
me
all
on
the
the
really
ended.
ending.
depressing. He went to jail. Aliens came, and I think he died in the electric chair.
yeah, you got the electric chair.
the chair. Yeah, that's right.
I remember this
Rewatch it, Matt, and
Yeah,
reconsider your choices here.
Like
right?
I feel like when we talked about this, you really liked this movie.
Thought it was
Like
fun.
you fucking went on about James Gandolfini and shit.
I mean, I just watched The Sopranos, so it obviously like linked in my brain of like enjoying
Poor
it.
James
but, like,
Gandolfini. He's dead, and he's never gonna live up to Tony Soprano because he died. But
yeah,
like, think about this. He was also in True Romance, and he fucking slapped in that,
he was really
literally
good in
and,
that.
and
That's a good
like
movie.
metaphorically slapped.
Beating the shit out of her. Yeah.
Yeah,
damn, I haven't seen True Romance.
Yeah.
check it out, man.
It's good.
All right,
That was
what do you
before
guys think?
Sopranos.
Mine is a serious man.
Mm.
Yeah, it cracked top 10 because I think it deserves it and it's well written. And I remember loving it the first time I watched. I don't know, something about this watch. Maybe it was like the sequence of the order it popped up in or something, but just left me a little like droll, a little like.
This is the movie that left you droll out of all the
Yeah.
Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty much
Yeah.
like 80% of them are super fucking depressing. So like,
Yeah.
and this one is no exception. But
Yeah, I feel like droll is kind of the right word for that movie, but in a good way,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But
Yeah,
oh,
it's
absolutely
definitely
nails the but
it's on more on the nose than most of the movies, but it's just the way it's crafted and written. It felt like I don't know. I didn't feel like the negative energy as much
Mm.
because it felt so honest.
I mean, I felt it, but like, I feel like
Yeah.
it's more like just like a joke. Like it's humorous how negative it is almost.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. My 10 is True Grit. Very solid Western. Not a lot of gripes with it, but it's just not my
Fair.
favorite. You know?
Yeah.
I put that at 9. That's my 9.
There you
Same.
go.
Same. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I liked how it is kind of the most positive Coen Brothers movie, or at least like they're not inserting like their own nihilism and
Right.
like style into
Right.
this movie. So
Yeah.
it feels different.
Yeah, I thought all around was just a solid movie. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really have a lot of complaints. I thought it was pretty entertaining, but I thought it also like didn't, it wasn't like exceptional, like
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't blow your socks off.
Mhm.
Doesn't blow you. It's not-
That's a
Are we
top
on-
5 movie right there.
This is the best movie I've ever seen.
Are we into 9? Are we still on 10?
Yeah, so we're into 9, and I think this
9.
is like the upper echelon, I would say, of the Coen Brothers. We've hit it. We're there.
We're getting to
boys.
4 stars
Yeah.
for me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this is at the second one, I believe, with 4 stars. I can't
True
remember
Grit
what
was
I
4
gave.
for me too.
I didn't even look at my ratings of these movies actually. I should have done that.
I should have too. I kind of like tried to remember, but I was like, this seems.
I mean, I
alright.
feel like mine's pretty accurate as
I
far
think
as like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
in line with your ratings. Yeah. Same.
What'd you guys have for 9?
Burn After Reading.
Ooh,
All
okay.
right.
Great movie.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The stretch of the Coens with what was it? No Country, Burn, True Grit, Serious Man. I mean, you were on a heater.
That's
Like,
solid.
yeah, that's a great run right there.
I think there was a little
Yeah,
dip
it
in
is.
there, but that's yeah.
What was
My
the
9
dip?
is
I don't see the dip.
my 9's Raising Arizona. Honestly, I thought this would be
Okay.
top 5 before we started because I watched it before and I loved it. This one,
Yeah.
similar to you, Noah, with A Serious Man, just something just didn't really like click for me this time.
Yeah.
It feels like
yeah.
jagged. It's obviously like their first foray into like comedic zany stuff that they can do, so I respect it at a level of that. And it might move back up again, it just depends on how I'm feeling the day I watch it, I think. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about Serious Man. It's like if I rewatched it, I'd probably enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I don't,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the mood you're in or whatever. Is that everyone's 9?
We already know we got times. On to
Grits.
8.
Yeah, we both had True Grit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What you guys have for 8?
What do you have for 8?
I had the Hudsucker Proxy. So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
this is pretty high up.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was really surprising watching this, and I think like the Sam Raimi edition makes it stand out in a way that I like about it, instead of like
Okay.
seeing it's not just full Coen voice.
It's kind of zany, man.
It is, and
It's
it's
zany. That's
to me after I saw that it was PG, it feels like the most mature kids movie I've watched, or like that's out there. And I like that I like that it like treads that line of like weird and funny and silly, but also mature, you know?
I don't know why. The first movie that popped into my head of like mature kids movie was Richie Rich. Maybe
it kind of feels like Richie Rich a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Weirdly.
Only Macaulay Culkin had been pulling.
Right. But fun story, you know, winding plot that goes weird spots. So
Yeah.
I love the second guy's attempt to like jump out the window.
right.
It's great.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like we've constantly like referenced that time is a flat circle or whatever, or life is a flat circle or whatever it is. So it deserves a top 10 place at the very least. My 8 is Oh Brother.
Highest one out of us, right?
Yeah, I
Damn.
don't know, man. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for like Greek stuff, Greek-based stories, and those
You might like Inside Llewyn Davis. Again, I don't know if you guys felt it, but that one just felt like another version of Oh Brother to me.
Like
I didn't
Just
feel
more dark,
that.
depressing. No Odyssey. I mean, the cat's name was Ulysses. I felt like that was just like,
Doesn't mean
let's
shit.
kick you in the nuts with it.
One name? That doesn't mean shit. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I didn't really feel the structure as much. Just maybe it's more
John
like
Goodman was even in it as one of his like people that he encounters on his Odyssey. You know, just like
the main differences for me, like I feel like my main gripes with the movie are the main differences between that and Oh Brother Where Art Thou. Like, there is a change at the end of Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He does get back with his wife. I mean, there is resolution, and like it's not super depressing the whole time. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure in the old.
But I will admit, like they are like similar in structure in the sense that like you know they're on a winding journey that you don't know where the fuck they're gonna go next. You know,
all the people they encounter on the way. I mean, different.
Yeah.
All right. Know what you want to talk about?
I was just. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything other than the Ulysses thing, but I'm pretty sure in like the real or the old version, doesn't he like get home and he basically like turns his country against him, right? Because at that point he's like,
are you talking about the Odyssey?
Yeah, I think he gets home and he's like, he's made his journey, but by the time he's made it home, he's so like bitter and like paranoid about everything that Athena has put him through that shit just like starts to like crumble around him. He just becomes like a shitty ruler. And
I did not get that. I don't think that happens. I just read it.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe I read a different.
He comes back in secret and like basically hatches a plan with his son, who he's never seen before. But his son is like an adult because he's been gone for so long. And basically, these suitors are like trying to like marry his wife to be the new ruler of the like his town, Ithaca.
Yeah.
And basically, she keeps like Penelope keeps putting them off. And because she's like hoping that Odysseus will come home at some point, and then he comes in.
Why'd you read this? This sounds so boring. Was this fun for you, or?
Well, I didn't read.
I read it as a project. I mean, sorry, I don't really like to get shit out about stuff that I do in my free time, but
doing his homework, man.
Yeah, like
how many pages is it?
I actually liked the introduction to the story too. It was like a fresh translation, and like they had like 100 pages of like just shit that goes like basically the basis of the fucking book in like xenophobia and xenophilia, basically just how you deal with strangers and taking them into your home and what you do with them, or if you like help them out or fuck them over. Like,
I
don't know.
Dude, Joe, you should read Circe by Madeline Miller. It's all about like her lifetime on the islands and how many people visit and how like the few times she can get off of her island and visit people. And it's good, man. It's good.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm getting that, because by the end of Circe, Odysseus is like fucking crazy. He like takes back Ithaca and he's like he's crazy. Like he has gone insane. It like drove his wife and son away from the kingdom. I don't know. It's good. It's good if you're into reading a more modern Greek tale. That's
well,
like good book.
wait, you say that he? You know what? We're getting off the Coen
Yeah,
brothers.
we're
Let's just
like
get
way
back
off
down to this.
topic.
We don't have to
I'm sorry.
fucking keep talking about this.
Yeah.
Fucking Homer.
Right? Right. Too many.
What are we on here? 8 still or
Alright.
what? 7?
My 8 was Buster Scruggs. I'm gonna just throw that in there.
Okay.
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 My 8 was Hail Caesar.
Solid.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say your 8, Noah?
Look, I
Was
just
it-
liked it because it wasn't as
Yeah.
depressing. All right.
No, yeah, my 8 was Oh Brother. That's why I'm just getting confused. I'm confused.
Okay. Yeah.
My bad. My bad.
All right. On to 7s. This is where A Serious Man landed for me this time. So it's the Coen's most honest story, I'd say.
I put the Ballad of
Relatable.
Buster Scruggs.
Yet depressing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's true. Honest. It feels very like from their heart, from their mind.
yeah.
Very much
It
so.
digs into the core of what the Coens are trying to say with every movie in a way that feels like the deepest representation of their like beliefs. So
Definitely. This is their most raw movie.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And you said yours was Buster.
Yeah.
Sure.
Scruggs.
Solid.
Scruggs.
Mine.
Blood Simple was number 7 for me. It was kind of tough. All these, like, moving forward up until my top 2, the rest are just 4.5 stars. So, like, from Blood Simple, and the next 4 are all 4.5. So, just kind of like, which ones would I want to turn on and rewatch?
Yeah.
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 So,
Still in 4-star territory for me, but we'll move
think-
soon.
Yeah, I think we'll get into the. I think I hit 4.5 at number 5.
We on 6?
Yeah, my 7 was Burn After Reading, but we
Oh.
we hit that. It's
Well,
good.
my
Interesting.
6 is Burn After
Interesting.
Reading. So
Okay.
I think it's like the Coens at their most fun, which I'm on board for. It's like really hilarious and self-aware. The ending
Yeah.
that we haven't learned anything to me makes the movie for me. Like
hell
I just
yeah.
love that ending of like to
Movie
write
without
something
a
that
point.
means nothing is like a really solid challenge, and they achieved it, in my opinion. So
Didn't get too lost in it.
yeah, and obviously great performances by Clooney and Pitt. So
Hell yeah. Pitt especially. Holy shit. He was cooking in that movie.
he's swinging.
I think that's a shit.
My God.
So good.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right,
My number
top-
6 was Hail
Oh,
Caesar.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
one really moved up.
Yeah, really enjoyed
Yeah.
it this watch through. I
You too.
felt like it had a lot to say, but it was also fun. So yeah.
Yeah, weirdly, like that whole communist debacle, I was in, man. I was like, what are these guys? What are they saying here? Like,
When
and then
George
he-
Clooney wakes up on the lawn chair, I just love that moment.
He's
Yeah, he's all curled up.
curled up. Yeah, and then when he gives that speech and Ed slaps him, you're like, okay. It's just become so clear that like, oh yeah, these communists know so much about capitalism, and yet here they are. Like,
Mhm. When they're trying to row away, that just like brought home the metaphor of like they don't actually know how to like work together or like
yeah,
or function.
It all falls apart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
6 was Hudsucker.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
The highest of our. Wait, have you said
wait,
Hudsucker yet, Joe?
At your 6? Yeah, I
Yeah.
said Hudsucker.
Okay.
Hudsucker was my 11.
That's the tops for
okay.
Hudsucker for us. I like it.
Yeah, man. I enjoy. I'm gonna rewatch this one for sure down the line. So I was thinking along those lines. It's probably one of my other than like Shawshank and Robbins. You know.
Coen's for kids.
Coen's
Yeah.
for kids. I like it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's my 6.
I put Blood Simple at 6.
Hey.
Solid.
Nice.
That's the highest for Blood Simple. Wait, Matt, have you said Blood Simple yet?
Not yet.
Hell yeah.
shit.
All right.
All right, top 5s here. We're moving up. This is where it becomes 4.5 for me. So mine is Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I think it's like perfectly packaged Coen, visually entertaining. Tells you a lot about like what they can do and what they are as a whole. And it's like they got the Western flair and the sprawling, empty scenery. It just yields a lot for me. So
it's a good film. Good film. I'm a sucker for an anthology. Y'all already know.
Yeah.
My 5 is Hail Caesar though.
Hey.
Nice.
Again, yeah, just really enjoyed
Nice.
it. Yeah, great movie. First foray into the 4.5s. So
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I feel like my 5 is kind of a surprise.
So
I put Barton Fink at 5, but
Oh,
realistically, I
wow.
don't think that I should have it this high. I mean, I kind of liked it, but as in I did like it, and I thought it was good. I think I just liked a lot of like just like the metaphorical shit about the hotel as hell, and like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
remember.
Realistically, at this point, I would switch it with probably Buster Scruggs, but
Okay.
Buster Scruggs got a little bit more rewatchability, I think.
For sure.
Yeah. But
Alex, what's your 5? Did you say?
True Grit.
cool.
Yeah, this one actually, I don't know. When it might have just been the mood I was in when I was watching it. It just felt good. It was like the best, and like you said earlier, the most feel good Coen's movie. Like I just had a good time. I laughed, didn't cry. I don't normally cry in movies actually ever, except for one time recently. But yeah, I don't know. I had a good time. It was good. It was a good, fun, emotional ride for me. So really
Nice.
liked it, and I think it brought home the realization that I think Jeff Bridges is like one of the greatest actors ever. He's just so fucking good. And this and fucking Big Lebowski, I mean, the performances he puts on, it's great.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
we can unpack that movie later.
Yeah, nobody's.
We
Yeah,
can
we
do
had
that.
no Lebowski yet.
I'm curious. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I'm assuming I wanted. I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
know.
our 1, 2, and 3s are all the same right now, but I guess we'll find out.
I don't think they are.
But
But our 1 and 2s are probably the same. I know for a fact my 3 is different than the rest of yours because my 4 is Fargo.
That's my 4 as well. Same.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trifecta.
My 4 is Blood Simple. So
Hey.
I think that out of our whole Coen watch, this was the most surprising experience for me. It was like the most exhilarating and like exciting experience for me when I watched this movie. In some ways, like they have never gotten past making Blood Simple, like with it's like their first like character led like plot misunderstandings and everything like that.
Yeah.
Journalism and infidelity.
Yeah, I mean they're setting the seeds. They got it there.
Yeah.
It's just like short, sweet, packs a huge punch, super entertaining. And when I first watched it, I was very tempted to give it 5 stars. So it might move up even to 5.
Yeah, it was smart too. I feel like all the characters made pretty smart decisions. Like I don't know. Yeah.
This was the one I was like concerned that it would set the tone because I watched it. This was one. I mean, yeah, one of the ones I've already watched. So in this watch through, I still enjoyed it just as much. But when I first watched it, I was like, wow, this is like up there with some of the great like directorial debuts.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
it's solid work. So I just feel like it's kind of polarizing because it's not like as in your face with like the pacing. Like it's a little bit slower, but it's well paced. I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
like
I
it cooks and it lets you breathe with the characters, but there's still so much going on that it's just entertaining the whole time. So
definitely.
Yeah.
But
is it top 3 time?
I don't know. I just love that cornfield. Like like the shot in the dark where it's like, oh, nobody would know this guy's out here, and then the next shot is like in the light. Like it's so fucking obvious. Yeah.
I love the cut to the credits song too. Like I think the song's like it's the same old song, but to me it just like brought home like. I mean, Tarantino, I felt a little Tarantino even though it's before him, but it's just like the fun of a movie, and the fun of a story. So,
my 3 is actually A Serious Man.
Hey, nice.
Good choice.
I don't know.
Good choice.
That's so depressing though, Joe. What the fuck?
Yeah, but like it's like a humorous depressing. Like it's like a joke about how
it's
like depressing
funny.
it is.
Yeah.
And I just loved all the religious aspects.
Yeah.
I don't know. I all around just I don't know. I liked that movie. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fair, man.
Cool.
And number 3 is The Big Lebowski.
Same.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
We want the fucking money, Lebowski.
My 3 was Fargo. You're good. All of yours was Fargo's was 4?
Okay.
Yeah. It's the most iconic Coen Brothers movie. Like when somebody says, you seen a Coen Brothers movie? Oh yeah, hell, I love Fargo. Like,
yeah.
Big Lebowski's a close second, I think, but like, it's one of their best scripts too. It's just like a very solid package, like skillful endeavor. So
bow on the package and everything. It gives you everything you need.
This is where we reach 5 stars for me. So
nice.
Yeah.
My number 2 is where we reach 5 stars.
I think Lebowski got my 5 stars.
Round 2? Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What was your 3, Joe?
A Serious Man.
Oh yeah. 2s.
Well, my 2 is Big Lebowski.
Mine is also The Big Lebowski.
That makes sense.
Fargo is like the most iconic, but The Big Lebowski is the most like Coen brother movie. You know, like it just feels like they're like truly unique and original take at a movie, and like all in their voice, all in their style. It's just a fun fucking ride. Created a whole genre of like mumblecore, like meandering stories and stuff like that. So
created a whole religion, man.
Holy shit.
The structure, I think, pushes people away a little bit, especially towards the end, but I've overcome that hump in my own life, and I just love it for what it is. So.
Wow. That was big of you.
Yeah, I bumped it up to 5 on this podcast, right? Or on this watch through, I think. So
hell yeah.
It deserves it.
Right on. My number 2 is The Serious Man.
Serious Man?
Yeah, I just said this. I thought about that after I said it. A Serious Man.
Well, it made me question, like, if it is The Serious Man or A Serious Man.
It's A Serious Man. Yeah. No, it's just like the most thought-provoking. Like the whole tone is set at the very beginning, and then if you just think of the whole movie as like this long horror movie, it's just so good. I don't know, and just the questions that arise throughout the film. I don't know. It feels like they're most honest and raw. And I really appreciate it. But it's also Coen's, so it's like funny at the same time and just well written, super well written. Their best original script, I would say. I know Fargo's like a perfect pace, tight package, but this is like for me their most well crafted script.
Yeah, that's good.
So I mean, that leaves all of us with the same number 1.
I would fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, like before I made the rest of my list, because I usually start from the bottom. I had put my top like at least 2 movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously this was number 1. You know,
it has to be.
That being No Country for Old Men.
Do you have a different one, Noah?
That's my 2.
Ooh.
Wait, what? Oh shit! I'm sorry. I cut you off.
You
oh fuck.
Yeah. No Country was my 2 because my number 1 is Buster Scruggs.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Country at number 2? Holy.
Hey, I respect it. It.
Yeah, I mean...
I'll pray about it, but I don't know.
I'll pray for you.
Thank you. I need all the prayers I can get. No,
what makes it number 1 for you?
I mean... It's just love. It's just love for the movie. Yeah, it's just love.
The pacing this watch through is just like, man, this movie breezed, and it's like 2+ hours. So
yeah. I mean, for as long as it is, I just love it, man. It was like, other than Big Lebowski, after watching Buster Scruggs, I was like, Coens are. I love the Coens. You know, like I'll forever watch their stuff after this. Like, so yeah, that's why I think I bumped it up. They're interchangeable at this point. You know, they're both so good, but. Just a little extra love for that one.
Nice, man. Well, for us other 3 though, No Country for Old Men. Clearly.
Yeah.
I think it's the most entertaining and streamlined. Yeah. I could see arguments for it being like 2, 3 compared to like Lebowski and some other movies, but it's just, to me, like it has the most meaning and like underlying relevance to their messages about like violence and not understanding like these modern motivations and life moving on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just so good, man. So I mean, we talked about it. It's just
And
fucking.
on top of all
great
that,
movie.
great fucking performances from Tommy Lee Jones, Javier
Yeah,
Bardem,
so
Josh
it's just
Brolin.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's
Pretty
just cooking in this movie.
and the
You know?
characters, like their characters themselves, are just like so fucking good too. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't know, Javier Bardem's character, I don't remember his name, but he's like truly lawful evil. Like he plays by rules, but he
Yeah.
is fucking bad.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
It's
It's
true.
just, it's just like you
Yeah.
don't really
Imagine-
see a lot of like you don't really see a lot of like lawful evil characters. I feel like, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
evil characters that actually like adhere to a code of conduct somehow. Like
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're usually all like maniacs or egomaniacs or something like that.
For this
Crazy.
movie,
pure evil.
also being like 2+ hours with no score or anything, the pacing just flies by too. I mean,
That's a good point.
it's great.
It's
I don't know.
And cinematography, if Buster Scruggs is top, this one is right there. It's just empty landscapes, beautiful fucking shots. So good. The visual storytelling's off the chain when he's pushing this like fucking shit into the vent. You're just with the character the
off
whole
the
time.
goddamn chain.
It's off the chain, bro. It's just so good. So entertaining. Solid.
Definitely.
Solid. Well,
good.
what a journey.
That brings us to a close on the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. What'd you guys learn? What have we learned now? about
What
the Coens.
does
Do
anything
you want me to
matter
answer that?
in life?
What do you say?
What truly matters is what I've learned. You know,
Yeah.
does anything matter?
I've yeah.
What's the purpose?
You know, I guess that's a yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna second that.
Right on.
Because
don't
like
give
I don't
you
know, that even
answers.
fits with like denialism and infidelity. Because it's like, who the fuck cares, man? Nothing fucking matters.
Everybody's living their
The
own
dude
lives and they're
abides.
crossing, intersecting
The
with
dude
everybody else's
abides.
lives.
yeah.
Dude abides. Just keep moving on. I can keep doing it. Yeah. I think I don't know, like I had I don't want to say a better image of the Coens before I started this dive, but I kind of, now that we see their bag, I don't think they are elevated to my favorite filmmakers, but I love their movies and I'll always watch their movies.
Yeah.
Even
have a
inside
lot of,
Llewyn
like-
Davis.
Maybe we'll see, but nothing below 3 stars for me for Coen. So I mean, they're every
Same,
movie is
actually,
pretty
so.
good, you know.
I had below. Only once.
Llewyn Davis, or
It was actually the Lady Killers.
okay.
Fair enough, but I mean, so at worst for me at least, it's better than the
Yeah.
average movie.
Definitely.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Like, because on the last 2 director's dives, because those are the only ones that I've been on. Like Tarantino, I don't think for me was below 4.
Yeah.
That man hits.
But
That man
then
hits.
with
He
like
does not miss.
Fincher, I mean, there were peaks and valleys. Like it was like
Mhm.
trade-off. Like every other movie was like good or like a banger or kind of bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever slipped into 2.5. I don't think I ever slipped under 3 for Fincher though. Maybe
I dipped down to 2. I think
I
for him
might
with
have.
Mank.
I don't really know.
I
Yeah.
wanna
Panic
say.
Room and The Game really
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong
That's a
way.
good
Mank
point.
was
Yeah.
also just not good.
Yeah, I was actually gonna like it.
Alien 3.
I know it's not an
don't
accurate
forget.
comparison between like Mank and Hail Caesar, but like they're both like, I mean, Mank is supposed to be historical fiction, and like Hail Caesar's basically completely fiction except for this character. But
Yeah.
like I guess like I don't know, it's still like based on an old person. Like an old real person, I guess, like
Mhm.
I don't know, in Hollywood, which like
Yeah.
is really the only connection. But
Yeah, one's just way more entertaining.
yeah,
Definitely.
Fun dive, man. Fun movies to watch. Super entertaining. I'm glad it's over because
I
there's a
didn't
lot of
have fun.
movies, but
Yeah.
they'll hit different for different people. I did just like scroll through their movies on Letterboxd just to like see kind of the general vibe, and almost every movie has the same trend of like it peaks into 4 stars and it has
Yeah.
like a fall off mountain, like classic parabola or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just like view them as pretty good, you know, but not everybody loves them. So
totally.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Maybe it's because I haven't been on Letterboxd as long as all of y'all and been rating movies on there as long as all of y'all. But I feel like most movies I do see and go to rate are like that.
Yeah.
Where
There's a
like
trend
kind
like
of,
that.
yeah.
Some of
There's
their
some, like-
movies go into fives, and like the
Yeah.
5 stars like elevate higher than the other ones, but
Like if you go through Tarantino's movies, a lot of them I would say are more in the 4.5 range. I mean, Kubrick definitely are in there.
let's see that.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. I mean, Kubrick I think is the one that stands out the most with everybody for some reason. Even though that for me that's like, I mean, I get his stamp on filmmaking, which is this is why I wanted to make that spreadsheet with all the directors because how do you find objectively the greatest director of all time, and unfortunately Kubrick won that even, so fuck that guy. But
Okay.
clearly he made his stamp. But
Thinking back through all the directors we've watched, Kubrick still stands out as like the most. Every film is the most unique. Like everybody's got their like vibe, everybody's got their style. Kubrick's films are all
That's a good
different.
point.
Like
because
I
Kubrick
respect
just
that.
took everybody else's work, never wrote his own shit, and just kind of made like put it on the screen, which is fine. It's just I think that's why we didn't see his voice as much. Like his voice was technical and just pure. Like this is you're gonna watch this and you're gonna see like this just visual porn the entire time.
I guess that's a good
And-
point.
I was
Like
thinking that.
3 out of the 4 of us also put like some. I mean, the Coen brothers adapted, No Country for Old Men.
right?
They have a couple of adaptations for sure.
Yeah,
I guess like I just meant just like they're basically what 3 out of 4 of us would say is their best movie. I'm not, but like.
Yeah, there's nothing. I have nothing against like taking other people's works.
I guess I was
it's
just like
how you adapt it.
I was just like making the comparison because like I mean Kubrick has like all of his works are adapted and all of them are like I would say probably pretty fucking good, but I don't know. I guess like I don't know. I guess it's not all the time that people adapt somebody else's work and it's good.
Yeah.
It's
just with like Coen's and Tarantino's, like we kept saying, you see their voice. They have like when they're in their bag, it, and you can just hear and feel the Coens. With Kubrick, it was just like Matt said, it's the most diverse, which it was. So I mean, he peaked at his first movie for me, which was The Killer. So that was like I hit a peak there, huge fucking valley, and then Full Metal Jacket happened and Eyes Wide Shut, and that was it. So
Nah, I think out of all the directors we've done, Kubrick still stands out as something that I can't like tangibly find how he did it so well. Because with like Coen's and Tarantino, even Tarantino's probably got the most like highest ratings for me at the moment. But like you can tell what they're doing the whole time. Even PTA, I go back and think about him, and I'm like, I respect a lot of those movies more because like they are PTA's voice, but they are very distinct movies. Like each one is very different, and I just don't know. Maybe I like that more.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that's like super consistent in PTA was like period pieces. I don't know if he's done anything like super modern, like even
Punch Drunk,
like
right?
yeah, Punch Drunk would probably be the only one that's like the super modern one. Other ones are just straight up period pieces.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Any other final comments on the Coens before we close the book?
Yeah, no, it was a fun dive. Kind of depressing and it opened my mind. Kind of like what you said, Matt. It's like this watch through. Like when I first thought of the Coens, it was obviously Fargo, Big Lebowski, No Country, all the basic ones. Burn After Reading, Hail Caesar. But then when you dig into their older stuff, you're kind of like, so this is where the Coens started. And it kind of just levels them out as directors rather than just keeping them at this high standard,
Yeah, for sure.
I think for me, I didn't know what I was getting into.
You signed up. You didn't even know what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Well,
I enjoyed it though.
Yeah, it was fun. Are we thinking Malick next then? What's the move here, boys?
I would love to do Malick personally, but
I'm open.
I just feel like it might be a different vibe,
There's gonna be a shifting of the gears from Coen's to Malick, I think. So
yeah, does he only have 8 movies or 10 movies or something?
I think it was like 10, right?
It was like low.
Yeah.
It's low. I hear they're very
I'll
hard
be
to
out.
be accessible.
So,
Like,
Okay.
but I guess we'll see.
I'll be on in the next director's dive after.
Okay.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
We'll pick like Kurosawa or something. What do you
A man with like 30 fucking films.
Jesus.
Black and white and subtitled.
Yeah, all Japanese.
But like, I don't know. Besides like director's dives, if there's anything big coming out in the next couple months, or like shows like in June, I can definitely be on some episodes.
Hot D.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we'll send out a chat for the schedule or something. See what we're talking about that week.
Yeah, but also I know it's still early because it's only April. But if you want to do that summer blockbuster thing, ratings for like what's going to make the most money again,
Top
I'd
10.
be down to do that.
Yeah, I'm down for that too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it. We'll put out the call when we decide to do that, and we'll see if you're busy or whatever. But
Yeah.
sweet.
The bat signal.
It's been real. People watching.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just be
Another
gone
dive
for a while.
down. What is it, like 5 or 6 now that we've done?
Yeah,
5.
shit. Who did we start with? We started with Kubrick, right?
Kubrick,
That was our
PTA,
first.
Fincher, Tarantino, Coen's. Right? Number 5.
God damn. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
I mean, I've been doing this for about a year. So we got 3 done in about a year.
It's pretty solid.
Not too bad.
Solid shit. Especially
Yeah.
Coen's too, when they're like 20 films.
I mean,
so.
we're pretty consistent too. I mean, we took a lot of breaks in the winter, but
Get back at
I
it.
feel like for the most
Just
part,
get on the grind.
Got through with a reasonable pace. Yeah.
It's always exciting for me to, get the full perspective on a filmmaker and see what it's all about. So, see what Malick can do next.
Cool.
I hope it's good.
Yeah, me too.
I hope so
If
too.
not, 10 movies and 10 stinkers. Let's see.
10, yeah.
I didn't know any of the movies when
Uh,
I looked them up last week.
I know a couple of them.
Yeah.
Just by word of mouth. But
Like I'm definitely, I don't know shit. So like,
I'm excited to
I'm
go
right
outside my
there.
comfort zone again and see what another filmmaker that I've never seen any movies about, like that he's made. What he's
that's
about.
what I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the most. So
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching the Coens, boys and girls. If you want to stick around for the Malick dive, you got to be a real cinephile. But
yeah.
see us next week.
Terrence
We'll start with some
Malick.
Malick.
First name Terrence.
Yeah,
If you're curious.
Yeah, if you gotta Google that guy, that's what to look for.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Signing off. Have a good one.
Stay gold, y'all. Stay gold.
Ooh, breaking that one out. Hell yeah.
Listen. It's been a minute.
Terrence Malick. Who's that other guy that's like super